My chat probably doesn't work. Okay. It is what it is. Wow. Oh. Oh, give me a second. Ah. Wow. Wow. Huh? Okay, let's try this. I don't know. I guess I'm in a bad mood anyway, so not in a bad mood, but in a little bit more of a sensitive mode. So yeah. Give me a second. I'm just gonna. Okay. Yahoo! A Pngtuber is a little bit of a reflection of my mood. Maybe I actually don't have to look that. Actually, I look so angry. I'm not per se angry, but I'm a little bit like, oh wait, let me just add. Wait. Streaming is so difficult. Okay, here you go. I think my music is in now. I call it I call it music, but it's pretty much just my lad's soundtrack. Okay, so what I wanted to say honestly was just that Yahoo, hello. My sleep has been really bad the last 2 days because of the whole drama and fiasco that's been going on. Let me. Yeah. Like I haven't really been figuring out exactly. Oh god, my brain. Yeah, it's probably just gonna be me yapping for a long time, or like for. Wait, wow, okay, no. Hey, reset. Yeah, so a lot of things happen in the Love and Deepspace community, and since I'm also a player and I stream the game sometimes, I was debating if I should make a video or stream or something about it. Originally, I thought a video would be nice, but I'll be so honest, I cannot be bothered to edit a video. It's not gonna work. I just don't think I can do it. I don't have cool editing skills. I'm just gonna talk about it, get my feelings and frustrations and everything out. Honestly, a lot of things has been going on, and no, I still want the angry back, sorry. I was like, should I be happy? I don't want to be happy. Let's go. Angry? I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to toggle nicely, so you're gonna see the manual toggle. But yeah, so I don't know. A lot of things happen. I don't even know where to start. It's just so messy. It's people throwing hate at each other. It's just all over the place. I've been scrolling and scrolling comments both on global side but also on Chinese side, just to see how people are. I'm not sure if coping is the right word, but like to like just see what people have to say about the whole situation. So let me see. Can I do this? Oh, wow! I'm a streamer. So obviously, what I want to talk about today is Valko, or Aoi if you're playing Chinese. Actually, I don't know what his Japanese is. Loka. And it's obviously his whole concept and him getting released and people's perception of this guy and this company and the thing, that whole thing that's been going on. But let's just go from the beginning, and I'll try to guide from there and then just talk through everything that's happening, both on Chinese side, on global side, comments, speculations, information I have, information I don't have any beta testing or anything cool information, but I just, you know, I got information from reading and doing research, a little bit of a deep dive into the game as well to pick up the story parts. It's just a lot, so let's just do this. Okay, so what is the whole deal? Love and Deepspace is an ultimate game, which is a dating sim made for female players to date straight males. That is pretty much the concept of an ultimate game. It's a Japanese genre, and it falls under, you know, normal visual novels, dating sims, BL games. It's all the same, you know, category kind of type of games, but ultimate specifically is specifically directed toward females to date males, pretty much. And before anyone comes into my comment, or like if anyone even bothers watching me saying stuff like, oh, but this game and that game you can date a girl, or you can date a gay character, and you know what, that's amazing, I love that, I'm a huge fan of diversity and meeting different characters, but those kind of games is not an ultimate game. Those kind of games would fall under dating sims, or just, you know, amare. I think that's another term for it. I'm not that familiar with the term amare because it's a more newer term, but it's not an ultimate if you're not playing a female character dating male characters. It's a Japanese original term. It's equivalent to saying that a BL game should have female dating options or dating love interest, right? That rules the whole genre. The genre is called BL because you're a male character dating males. Yeah, that's just the genre. And for the people who are like, oh, we want representation, we wish it could change. I mean, obviously, I would love that too, but it should still have a new genre then. That's why it's probably put the game as a visual novel slash dating sims, that's amare, right? That's like the category it should be going under. So it's like being like saying that you want to listen to classic music at a metal concert. So, like, you know, metal also have a lot of different under genres, right? So it's a little bit like that. So dating sim and visual novels are usually the top part, and you have all the things underneath. And obviously the whole deal about ultimate games is the romancing part. You're like dating the love interest. That's the whole game mechanic. So Love and Deepspace is a Chinese game made in China. Chinese ultimate game for females, played by females and males if you want to, dating male love interest. That's the whole concept. So what is going on is that the original game started out with 3 love interests. Wait, maybe I should just go into the game. No, it actually doesn't really matter. Or is it more immersive if I go into the game actually, and people can be like, oh, okay, let me actually go into the game so you guys can see. Didn't I have, yeah? Oh, there you go. This is my music playlist, by the way. And my chat that doesn't work. My chat that doesn't work. I don't know how to fix that. I need to figure out how to fix chat. Okay, whatever. That is for the next stream, me to figure out. So this is the game. It's called Love Deepspace. There is different love interest. So the first 3 one that was introduced into the game is Xavier, Zane, and Raphael. Though during the release, they did hint and say out loud, like, info/paper game, which is the developer, game producer, that we will have 2 different games, 2 different characters, which is Caleb and Silas. And as you can see down in the corner, there's something called coming soon, which obviously means that they will add more love interest, or at least that's what it's hinting to, right? That it will add more people. So the whole thing is that you're playing this hunter girl and you're in a sci-fi world, and there's these guys and they have different roles and different organizations that the whole plays into. This is so happy-go-lucky music. Wait, I'm not in a happy-go-lucky music moment. Maybe just play this one. Can I just play this one on repeat? Oh, I can. Oh no. Yamete? Change settings to switch to playing mode. Change settings to switch to playing mode. What does that even mean? Oh god. Okay, I guess it's just gonna cycle through the game. I don't know how to do this. Current? Experiment? Ah, applied. Oh. Okay, I don't know. It is what it is. Yeah. So, oh my god, I seriously have concentration connection issue. Talking. The sleep is getting to me. No. So yeah, you have the love interest. I don't even know where to start. Maybe I should have made a video and did some editing, but it's just so much easier to me to just talking and then working it out later. Talking to us, huh? No, okay. What did I say? Yeah, so we are at 5 love interests right now, and the whole deal is that on June 22nd, a new love interest was introduced. I'm gonna go back to just chatting. It is this guy, Valko. He is a werewolf, and let me see. I can't even see what's written on the picture. How do streamers do this? You must have a lot of experience, obviously, doing this. You are very fine. I'm going back into the music mode. Love and Deepspace. Oh, here you go. I need to open the picture so I can see what it says. Can it open it? Oh, there you go. Valko, a wild, unbound will surrendered only to you. Age 26, birthday unknown, 6 inches 2 feet. Is that how you say that? In the rest of the world, I think that's 185. I just grabbed it off the internet, Google. So yeah. His job is the CEO of Youngcore Tech. This is really important. This is playing a big part of the whole deal, actually. This whole like Youngcore thing. And his evil, which is their special superpower, is materialization. So on June 22nd, he was released, or at least the teaser was put up with him. Put up for him on social media, so like on Weibo, Xiaohongshu, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, you name it. Like, he was released, right? And this really surprised a lot of fans, because if you play Love and Deepspace regularly, you would know that with the two previous love interests, there was a lot of hinting and foreshadowing for these new love interests to be released. Obviously, we all knew that a 6th love interest would be coming out at some point, and it's been a while, so it was probably gonna be sometime after Caleb, right? But I don't think anyone was expecting him to drop so soon, if that makes sense. And that is actually what happened, and that's how it actually blew out. Like, wait, can I just go on Twitter? I'm not sure if I actually want to go on Twitter. But okay, let's see if I can do this correctly. Twitter. Well, I guess I'm learning how to use OBS and streaming while I'm doing this specific stream. I follow mainly Genshin Impact stuff though, but let's see. Love and Deepspace. Okay, let's do this. How do I do it? Build? I know that a lot of people is like, oh, they want to have a lot of viewers, but right now I'm happy to have 0 viewers and just slowly learning how to do this. Twitter, browser, USL. No. That's not what I wanted to do. Oh my god, this is more difficult. Application window? Window capture? Is that how you do that? And then... Good question. This one? Oh, there you go. Okay, I guess. And then is it alt? Yeah. There you go. Let's just cut this down a little bit. There you go. Oh, okay. Man. It's okay, I'm learning. So, this is the Twitter phase of Love and Deepspace. Wait, no, I can't even... Can I show you? Did they delete? So, obviously by now everyone knows he's cancelled. So actually his video and everything was taken down from every single platform. Except for the English Love and Deepspace Twitter account. In case you want me to like... Here's a trailer for him, right? That's like... He stopped. And it was on... June 22nd. Yeah, there you go, here he is. So it's this video. I just wanted to go into the comments and show you some of the reactions, because some of them were extremely negative, not only on English side but also on the Chinese side. Like this one, for example, why are you fucking adding random men to the game? Or like, if this update doesn't come with improvement to farm resources, diamonds, and a better release of main story chapters, it will be so clear you just want whales in the game instead of improving the game. Please listen to players. Oh my goodness. Yeah, there's like a lot of things, right? People are not really happy about this. They were like, what is this? You're fucking bums. Why escape main story? Update, you lazy. It's been 500 whatever days. So obviously fans were very mixed. Some were like, oh my god, this is what I wanted. But actually in the beginning, there was a lot of negativity. People were like, why is they giving us this dude? Like, we didn't ask for this dude. Like, what is going on? It's just kind of weird, right? You didn't know he was coming so soon. He was just dropped in our face in the middle of nowhere. So a lot of fans actually felt extremely unhappy about this. Like, why isn't a werewolf? And obviously another one was that because he's a werewolf, people would be asking like, why is he having two... Wow, delete please. People would be like, why does he have two sets of ears? Like, a lot of people would just be like, what is going on? This is weird, we don't like this. Even I, when I saw this, even I, when I saw this and my friend sent me the link, I was like, oh, he has ears? That was not what I expected. That's a little bit out of place, I guess, a little bit weird, because if you look at the love interest, okay, you can see. Oh wow, no, I don't want to do that, did I? Wait. There you go. I'm missing one. Oh, there you go. I covered myself. Oh my god. There you go. Yatta! Okay. This is more difficult than I thought. Streamers are so cool. What the hell? Well, I'm also, guess, kind of a streamer. Yeah, so you can see, like, the guys we're talking about are these very Asian-coded, pretty boys type of guys, which obviously they're still quite different, right? You have the super pretty boy, then you have the cool doctor type, and the boy next door, the bad guy, and the soft type, like a prince soft type. So they all have like a trope, but overall they all kind of have the same vibe, right? So when you see this and they all look very human to you, then you get the werewolf kind of aesthetic, and that obviously and understandable makes people question everything. They're like, this is not what I signed up for. This is kind of weird. It feels like it doesn't really fit in, you know? People were just being questioning everything, right? He looks kind of different too. Like, oops. I totally get that. But obviously, this trope is not new either, right? It's not like first time we see a guy with kimono Mimi and it's a love interest. It's a very normal trope. So some people were happy, some people were not as happy, and people felt like he didn't fit in. The thing is, on global side, more people were just like, okay, this is weird, he's a furry, what's going on, where's a normal update, we want, you know, content, we want story, what is this new guy, where is my content with my original guy? However, on the Chinese side, people were extremely angry in a very, very, said in a nice way, parasocial, extreme, insane, my vocabulary is failing me, at least aggressive way. They would be like, oh, he's so ugly, we don't deserve him, what's wrong with him? We were asking for other things, we never asked for a new love interest, please delete this guy out of the game, he's so ugly, he's so western coded, he's not like any of the originals, stuff like that. I have personally not seen any comments mentioning his skin tone, but I did not look through the 100,000 comments, so they probably exist, right? He's assumingly a little bit more tan than the other guys when you look at it. Honestly, if you look in-game, I think he looks pretty similar to Silas, which is the bad boy guy, the one, the fourth from the left. But you know what? People just need something and want something to complain about, right? And they were like, oh my god, who would date this? This guy doesn't look like he's dating girls. He's gonna bait gay guys in. And you know, there was just a lot of accusations. And as I said in the beginning, it's an ultimate game, so all the girlies was like, I don't want my man to be bisexual or gay, you know? So they were like, oh, we don't want the male audience players to take away the heroine spot. Which means to say that males who play a female character were welcome, but if you wanted a male persona, you were not welcome. Said straight out, it's just how it is. I'm so sorry. This is not my personal opinion, I'm just saying it like as a informational factual way of things happen. Before people call everyone racist, homophobic, I think is, yeah, just be respectful. By the way, just, you can feel that it's unfair and awful, just don't throw hate. Try to talk to people normally. If you want someone to stop being racist and homophobic, the least you should do is start yelling at them. I think you should not just talking with them, and at some point, sometimes it's just better to just block and move on. Well, going back in, people were just saying a lot of absurd things, like they think he was too Western because she didn't appeal to the usual Asian aesthetic, and they were worried that Info was trying to cater to Westerners and gay people, or like even making the love interest gay, because for them this game was an ultimate game. Female player dating male leads, straight male leads, by the way. I don't know why it have to be straight, don't ask me that, it's just how it usually is portrayed. I don't make the rules, I'm just stating what is written in the books. So obviously Chinese fans became a little bit crazy and were like angry about this whole situation, and they were also angry that they didn't feel like he had been properly introduced. They were like, who is this guy? A little bit like global, right? They're like, who is this guy? He hasn't been hinted, we don't know who this is. Why are we getting a new love interest when we keep complaining about wanting more content, we wanted more cards, we want information and, you know, playable things to do with the love interest we already invested money in. Like, the people who spend money on this game want more content of their favorite love interest, not new one, at least not yet, right? Obviously, some people have multiple buyers, but in China, it's very normal to be very single-minded, right? So, for example, for me, I have two favorites in this game. So I will play both content almost equally. A lot of other overseas fans too are like, oh, I love all the boys, or like I have 2 favorites. I have usually people have their main and then they have the second. But in China, that's just not the norm. Most girlies just like one guy. It's just one guy and them and their happy relationship, their own small bubble. So for girls who spend money in this game, they were like, I spend money to get more, let's say Caleb content, so why do I keep getting content of other guys that I don't care about? Also, the game also have a gacha system, and the way the gacha system works is that instead of pulling characters, you pull cards, and each card contain one character and a story with that specific character. I don't think there's any banner in the game right now, but so that's how the whole concept works. So for example, if you're a Genshin player, you will be rolling for characters specifically, right? And that pretty much unlocks everything for you. But for ultimate games and dating sims and Love and Deepspace specifically in this case, the way it works is that you roll for your love interest, and then you get more content with your love interest. And that's how you know become closer with them, get to know them more, see more of their different sides, etc, etc. So fans were obviously very angry about Valko coming in here after people spent... Okay, let's talk about that too, now that we're here. So, Chinese fans spend a lot of money, like a crazily insane amount. Most of them do. Like, obviously not everyone, but like majority does. It's very normal in the culture of Asia to just spend money on games. It's just a thing. In the West, however, we have a really big group who's just free to play, myself included, while the other side wails really hard. So we have the 2 extremes, but it's very clearly that it's not the norm in the Western fandom to spend the money. Whereas in Chinese fandom, a lot of people just spend a lot of money. Like, it's just like, oh, whatever kind of thing. I think most of the people I have talked to overseas, they have an Oran Pass, which is like a working, like very basic tier, and then some people pay for the battle pass, like a second tier, and etc, right? At least both sides have been spending a lot of money, like crazily amount of money. And both on the Western side and on the global side, people were asking for content with their favorite love interest because that was what they felt like they had spent their money on, right? This is June 22nd, so this is all that happened. Info then, the company sees all this criticism and hate, and actually to try to calm everything down, they specifically stated that hints have already been laid out in the stories and in the game. So but the thing is that when Caleb was released, when Caleb was released, the middle guy here, he was released on release day 2 years ago. We met him for 5 minutes in like one chapter in the first main story, and then he exploded. And then he came back to us later, and we knew he was gonna come back because there was an official statement that stated right after his explosion that Caleb, the character, will be coming back to the game. At the same time, they also announced that another character would be added in as a love interest, which is Silas. So already, I think 2 or 3 months into the game, maybe a little bit. Yeah, I think 2 or 3 months into the game have already been teasing and telling fans that they could expect these characters. Like, it was already like black and white on paper in the statements, everyone knew it. So there was no surprises when, I think it's 1 year later, in 2000, I don't know, 1 year later after game release, a game launch, that Silas came out. He came out before Caleb. When Caleb came out, there was even leaks, and in the story, we hear about him a lot, like the boss of I can't pronounce the place. The boss of his region, right? His area. Onikinus, is that what it's called? Onikinus. So, and the other characters is aware of Onikinus as well. So the whole main story is built around like Unikai's area is like shady. They're worried about the MC going there. They have all these feathers. We see the crows in this main story that has these like red eyes. There's so many hints laid out. He's mentioned multiple times, and obviously because we actually have an actual interaction with Caleb, we also get him established very easily. He's like the the boy next door, a type with his older brother, adopted. We grew up together, we are childhood friends. He went to work, you know, we are very close. He texted us, he was for family. You know, everything was pretty much established. We had a relationship with these characters. So when Valko dropped and they couldn't find the same hint and foreshadowing, people were questioning everything. And then when Info told them, like, hey guys, we actually did put some hints in, obviously they didn't tell where, they were just like, we have hints in the story, go look for it, it's there. Fans went detective mode pretty much. They went in and started searching all the content. Most fans usually only read the main story and then the card story of the characters they like. Or people might not even read the main story. What part of the main story people read is the main story of their favorite love interest. Wait, let me go into the game again. Here you go. So if I go into the story mode here, I'm not up to date, don't judge me. New chapter. So this is the first chapter, right? So you can see there's like different chapters, and each chapter, if I remember correctly, is connected to a specific love interest. So for example, let's say the first one is Caleb, the next one is Raphael, and then is Zane, then it's Caleb. So you know, every single chapter is maining or like focusing on a specific main character. So if you, for example, is a Savior fan, you might only read the Savior chapters. You'll be like, I don't really care about the rest, right? So you will only be reading those. And that's probably what happened a lot. Like people will be reading only the specific part of the main story that has their favorite characters. Even I don't really read main story, as you can see, with the other characters that I don't have a big interest in. I think this one is like Savior at the top in this one. Oh, sorry. Yeah, Savior at the top, Zane at the bottom, middle of Raphael. So the first three guys, right? So Savior, Zane, and Raphael. And then we had the next one, which is Caleb. So obviously I went crazy, and I obviously went to read that, right? I think this one is Caleb. So you know, it is. It's Homecoming. I haven't read the next one. I don't know who this one is actually. So yeah, you can see I'm behind because I'm just overall behind reading. But that is how most players play this game. They only read content with the love interest they're interested in. Which means when Info told them that the guy has been hinted, suddenly people went in and started reading everything, even the things from their love interest they were not interested in. The game also have a new anecdote kind of story, which is called World Underneath, which is a little bit darker side of this whole world. In each section and region, or like each chapter, is also connected to a specific love interest. So the one I want to talk about, which I don't have unlocked, is the 25th one, which is called Light into Dust. That one was released in April this year, so it's pretty new. And people went in because we already know as fans who played for a long time that the first three main characters are like good characters, like morally good. Whereas both Silas and Caleb are like morally gray, questionable characters. I mean, they're not bad people, right? They're still on our side, but they are not as clean as the rest of the other three ones. So I think a lot of people went to dig into the World Underneath, and that's how they actually found the first connection to Valko. That's like the two. I want to show them on stream for you guys. So if anyone watching this, they will be able to see this. Let's see. How do I do this? Into the picture. Add another picture. Media, no. This is also what I was like, if I need to edit this is gonna be 25. I'll find both of them, but then we can talk about it. Here. And 330. Yes, okay. So let's take. Why did it keep going at that? So let's take. Let's establish Valko's character first, actually, because the next thing we're gonna talk about is gonna be a little bit controversial. But yeah. So remember I said that Valko is. Can I zoom in? He's the Young Core Tech Chairman, right? So the CEO, he decides things. He owns this company. He's very connected to this company. He's, literally his job, right? This is his whole thing, right? We know about this company, and that is how, that is the role he's supposed to give us. He's supposed to give us this connection to this part of the story that we haven't really explored a lot yet. The Young Core Tech Chairman. Okay. So how does this connect to the hint? So in the world underneath, so in this story we have villains, or like we have an enemy, if that makes sense, like the bad guys, right? They're called Ever. They're a company who does a lot of shady stuff, including bumping people, human experiments, killing of races. They're the evil guys. They're trying to get immortality or something. They're chasing, chasing immortality or something like that, and that they will do anything to get their gains. I think pretty much that's the whole deal with them. I don't remember that clearly. Also, maybe I should say this too right now. Disclaimer: I'm a pretty casual fan. I'm a free-to-play player. I just like playing Deepspace whenever like there's a new card. I go in, I read it, I enjoy it, and then pretty much leave. I'm not a person who like to sit down and connect the dots and stuff like that. Maybe I should. I have another friend who likes that, and she usually just fills me in. And I usually only read main story when I need gems, because that's free gems for you. So yeah, but I found this one. I found it on Twitter. There was a global fan who pointed this out, I think, or a Chinese one on Twitter. But so, while tracing the source of the mysterious investment, a new company called Young Core Tech, Valko's company, which dabbled in protocol energy, appeared. Wow, I can't read. Its chief director, the background untraceable, remains shrouded in mystery and appears to maintain a form of close collaboration with Ever. So as you can see here, this is taken from the game. From this screenshot, what I want to establish here is that Ever, the company, maybe it's at the top, like the current hypothesis is that Gaia that originated from within Ever, so the company Ever, they got a mysterious investment. They got money from this company called Eon Core. That is not to say that they always give them money, but it means that they are somewhat connected and they did receive money. And yeah, so black and white in-game canon text, Young Core is sponsoring, or like at least investing into Ever. So Valko's company, aka Valko, is connected to Ever. We don't know obviously exactly how yet, but obviously this is not a great sign, right? It's like, well, it's not a bad sign either, but it's just like, it is what it is. It just says that our morally gay character is confirmed morally gray because he's obviously connected to our enemy. That's shady stuff. Okay. Then let's look at the April release. This is the World Underneath 25, which is showcasing a human experiment. So, question now is, what is shady about this one? So, these experiments were conducted by Ever, by this guy called Soren. I don't know how to pronounce that. Soren. I don't in case people want me to pull it up, I can, but you actually don't need to. But, well, let me just pull it up anyway. I mean, I might as well. People are gonna question everything and be like, oh my god, you didn't put in all the sources. If you just read it, you'll find the information as well, but I know that people don't like to read and everyone wants screenshots, so I might as well just... Why did I not save it? Maybe I didn't save it. Give me a second. Should dig it up. Because I just took this picture from Twitter as well. Because as you saw before, no shame to that, I did not have Actually, let's just go to the Wikipedia. That might be easier. Let's just go to the Wikipedia. Yeah, let's just go to the Wikipedia. Yeah, sorry. Okay, let's just go to the Wikipedia. I think that would be the easiest. What is that? Just... How do people do this? This is so difficult. Yeah. Oh, that's why. Okay. I guess people who are pro streamers have a lot of experience doing this. Okay. Let's just go. Let's see. Wiki. Wait, let me just Google this real quick. Love and Deepspace Wiki. So the one I usually refer to is not the fandom one, but the Wiki one, I think. Yeah. Okay, let's see if I can do this correctly without failing. Okay. Sorry, this is a little bit chaotic. Bear with me while I learn how to be a streamer. How to stream. Okay, so I'm going into the wall underneath and we're looking for... Oh, yeah, we could actually just... No, not 30. 25? Here you go. So... let's test record here. I'll just highlight it. Says... oh yeah, here. A request has been submitted to Ever Haiku. Wait, let me just zoom in for that. Can you guys read that? Is this readable? This is why I don't like editing videos either. But yeah. So, a request has been submitted to Ever Haiku for the latest. Oh my god. Okay, here you go. I mean, it's a website. You can Google it too afterwards if you want to. But here's the screenshot. Is this part. So obviously, this test record was sent and connected to Ever. If you don't think that's enough, you can even read a little bit further up somewhere, I think. Oh, I saw it earlier today when I was looking. Oh yeah, here. When he stepped out of the grey Ever building once more, he slipped on a well-practiced mask on a humble deference. Oh, you guys can't see that. There you go. A friend. His objective is clear as he walked toward the distance. This will be the last stage encounter. He's confident of that. So yeah, you see he's obviously connected to Ever, this southern guy. So, and he's the record keeper, is what they call him. And and the trial subject is Isaiah. Yep. So what is controversial about this part? Like, what is going on? We're gonna go into a little bit of controversial part of the story now. So I will pull this one up for you so you can see. So Isaiah is Xavier's cousin, which means that obviously this specific World Underneath, released in April, is connected to a different love interest and his story. But it's obviously the whole main story and plot is connected to everyone. All the love interests are connected in some way, right? So this this World Underneath was a Savior World Underneath about Savior's cousin becoming a trial subject where he undergoes some pretty bad things and Savior saves him and everything is good in the end. Yep. The controversial part now. How do I go about this? This is a very, very sensitive topic in China, and also parts of Korea and Southeast Asia, Russia as well for some. I think the most of the Russian people I've seen haven't really mentioned it per se, but I mean, every country is different, and I know especially for the Asian side, and probably also for some Russians, this is a very, very, very sensitive topic. So this is about something called Unit 731, Nanjing Massacre. This happened during Second World War when the Imperial Japan invaded China and pretty much decided that they wanted to use Chinese people as test subject for fun. And why I say for fun is because some of the things they did were extremely cruel. You know how everyone knows that during war, science and medicine always get developed extremely fast because it's a competition, right? So if you're very sensitive, I recommend that you do your own research so you can filter and control what content you see and hear. And I'm gonna say this again, if you are sensitive, please skip this short part because it's pretty cruel. I'm not gonna show anything, I'm not gonna show the Wikipedia page, I'm not gonna, I'm just gonna say it by word, but so people can listen to it. But I know even some people just listening to it will feel uncomfortable. The reason why I want to actually say some of the specific examples is because I don't think people understand how terrible it was. We know about Holocaust, is that how you pronounce? During Second World War with Hitler and Jews and the concentration camps and human experiments. Even I recently got, I don't know, lecture sound wrong, informed that Holocaust was more than just the gas concentration camps. I grew up overseas. I am not living in China. I did not never live in China. I did not grow up with Chinese history classes or like lessons. So obviously I don't know exactly what they're taught. So this information about Unit 731, I also learned about it in my older years. Is that what it's called? More mature years. But yeah, so I'm gonna list some of the examples now. So if you're sensitive, I do not recommend staying. Just skip forward a few minutes. I'm not gonna make a huge list, but it was like biological warfare, torture, on every single person, like kids, infants, pregnant women, old people, innocent people, also obviously also soldiers, but a lot of innocent people. And they would do it for sports. They would have competitions about who could kill more people. They would force breed and make women pregnant, and then they would vivisect them, like all of the people I just mentioned. Like they would vivisect babies, infants, pregnant women, old people, sometimes just for fun. They would even refer to the people as a lock. Like, if people know why Boku Hero no Academia is blocked in Japan, not blocked in Japan, blocked in China, that is the reason why. They would call people maruta, which pretty much is a Japanese term for a lock. They were not treating these people as humans at all. Also, when this happened, they steamed people alive, they gave them frostbite on purpose, they injected them with viruses and made them sick on purpose so they could, like, research them, sometimes just for fun. It was very, very, very cruel, very, very, terrible. And I heard and I was informed that during Holocaust, similar things happened to the Jews. So obviously we hear about the concentration gassing, but this obviously is like another level, extremely inhumane. And the reason why we also believe that a lot of it was done for sport and for fun is that when the war ended, instead of the aggressors, or like the Japanese, researchers going to jail and atoning for their mistakes, America, I swear to God, America decided to pardon the criminals and then pardon the criminals to get these files, like the research, right? But it turned out the research was pretty useless, except for one fact, which is the reason why we know how much water is in our human body is from this event during the Second World War. Like, can you imagine what kind of torture or methods you have to use to figure out how much water that is in a person? Like, obviously we know now in modern times, but you'll probably have to, cut them up or like, drain them for water content, or like, I think I read somewhere that it was done by steaming them alive, so they could measure the water from the steam or something like that. I'm not exactly sure, but either case, that's so gross to think about. It's like, I'm even getting a little bit uncomfortable just talking about it. Also, I'm extremely sensitive about stuff like this, so I avoid looking at pictures, I avoid looking at website that has pictures, I don't watch movies about it, but I want it to be known, and I know, and I think anyone who plays anything Chinese or enjoy Chinese media should know about this, because this is a very, very sore point for Chinese people, at least. And this is why I hope people can be respectful about it. Whether this is relevant for what is happening with Valko, it's a different issue. I'm just gonna say that I think that this is something that should be taken seriously. So yeah, and the thing is, since the criminals were pardoned, and some of them are probably even enshrined in the Yasukuni shrine in Japan, which is a shrine that's also extremely problematic and controversial. If you're interested, you can look up the Yasukuni shrine in Japan. There was actually an incident about this a few months back, also with Love and Deepspace, with Saint's Japanese voice actor, who went to the shrine a few years back. And when I say a few years, I mean like a decade ago. But he actually went to the shrine knowing what it was. It wasn't actually that he actually went, but he went inside knowing about how hideous this shrine was, and he paid his respect there, and he was like even saying things like it felt very eerie, and he felt like the shrine was calling him. I actually didn't prepare this specific blog post because I wasn't sure I was going to talk about it, but you can still find the Japanese blog post on archive.org, I think. Because this has really been resolved, and this is, I guess, old news, I don't want to talk too much about it, but pretty much what happened was that because Saint's Japanese voice actors visited this shrine, he was laid off from the from the game. He was like told to leave the game. I don't know if he had a chance to apologize, but I haven't seen or heard about him or his company, entertainment company, issuing an apology, which is also extremely difficult because the whole China-Japan situation right now, a relation is pretty rough. Okay, but then going back, how is this even... What does all this have to do with Valko? Like, what is going on? Like, I just wanted my werewolf puppy guy. Why is this happening? Like, I don't understand. Okay, let's go back to the file. So, now we know that this human experiment is extremely sensitive topic for the Chinese people. Finding a file in the game named blah blah blah. I can't. This one. Whoop. Zooming in. Named 731 is, in my opinion, crazy. More than having it in game, I'm just more than this being controversial, I'm just questioning why did Info decide to put this in the game. Like, it makes absolutely no sense that they decided to put this in the game. Like, what was the reason? Why would you do that? It's so... It doesn't make sense. But yeah, so this was obviously found during the whole like, oh, Valko is not hindered in the game, till company being like, oh yeah, he is hindered, and then Chinese fans who were not a Savior fan would also go in and dig and find this information. I have seen people mention on the Chinese social media that the fans who did find this information did report it back in April when it was released originally, and Info did make a statement that they would fix it. Okay, when people hear that, they're like, okay, cool, you made a statement, you are telling us you will fix it. That is great. And probably most people moved on from that. They're like, okay, they're fixing it, it's not an issue anymore. Whatever, in April, they're like, you're fixing it, problem solved, right? This is in April. They got it, they wanted to fix it, the company said they will fix it, all good. Fast forward, Chinese fans who are encountering this information for the first time, other love interest fans finding this information, seeing that it has this 731 with a human experiment thing, are bringing it up again. Obviously, they're like, excuse me, what's going on? We were told that they were supposed to be changed, but it's still not changed. It's been like months. Why is it not changed? You told us it would change. And the company was like, oh yeah, okay, we are sorry, we didn't change it, let's change it. We acknowledge that you know, you haven't been changed. And this change happened in a few hours, and I kid you not, a few hours. Like, the fans thought they would have been changed, you know, months ago, and maybe they were like, oh, it's gonna be changed, you know, in the next update or bug fix or something. But 2 months, we have been having so much content or like card changes and bug fixes in these 2 months, so it just felt extremely insincere, right? Okay, they're changing it, whatever, we're moving on. It's cool, great. Question is, a problem is that they changed it to a new number, which is the one I've shown you here. It's the 611. Normal people will be like, oh yeah, okay, but what's wrong with this number? So this specific number is also a date connected with Japanese Imperial Japan massacre happening in China. The exact same type of war crime and the exact same category as well during Second World War. So it's not like, oh, they picked a random war incident like 1,000 years ago or something. It's in the same period. This same category. It's like exactly the same. If this is a coincidence, it's too crazy. I mean, it could have been. I'm not gonna say that people don't make mistakes, but it's just like, of all the numbers that you could have picked, I know that they stated that it was supposed to be a date, but even then, you have 12 months. You know? I'm not sure why they decided to pick this one specifically, and I even asked my love heavy law loving friend if it's normal to have these things being random, and she was also like, yeah, no, it couldn't have been random. So in the end, the company removed the number altogether, so now it shouldn't be having a number. Obviously, on the Wikipedia page I just showed you, they probably locked this or like archived this information right away when it released, which is why which is why it probably still have the 731 on the website, and the screenshot I showed you is the true explanations, right? So the first explanation and then the second change. But now it doesn't have a number. Okay, I just want to mention this because I don't see a lot of people mentioning this, because let's say it was just a number. It was just a coincidence. But if you play in English, the name you see is just Isaiah, right? And you're like, what's wrong with Isaiah? It's a really normal and good name. And yes, it is a very normal, good, and no issue, problematic name. But in Chinese, and I think in Japanese as well, the name of Xavier's cousin is actually similar to the single survivor of 731. And the researcher, the record keeper, his Chinese name is very similar to the war criminal. Which makes one question, like, if the numbers was a coincidence, how can the names also be a coincidence? Isn't this a little bit too many coincidences? It just doesn't make sense, right? So fans on the Chinese side would ask Info to kindly please speak up about this. Let us know what's going on. Why is this happening? What is this? This is weird. We don't, like, it doesn't make sense. Make it make sense, right? And that brings me to my next image. Why I feel like a detective when I do this. And this is something I actually am a little bit surprised about. I thought that most news, most announcements were posted on both social media, but apparently after this scandal came out, this controversy was brought to light, the company did release a statement, and this statement was not posted on global side at all. Obviously, some global fans also speak Chinese and translated it and shared it around, but it was not as visible than if you know, Info had just posted it themselves on their actual social media, but they didn't, which is, in my opinion, weird. I know that in the Western fandom, this was not an issue, so they probably didn't feel like the need to bring it up, but honestly, it was just a huge deal. And this whole thing about Love and Deepspace is like they want to teach people about Chinese culture and history and connections, and the 731 is just a big thing, and a lot of Westerners or foreigners or, like, you know, don't necessarily know about this incident. Like, even just scrolling on Twitter, I've seen multiple people being like, what is the 731? What is Unit 731? Like, they don't know what it is, and which is fine. I don't blame anyone, because obviously if you live in the States, you don't learn about Asian history often. If you live in Europe, you usually don't learn about Asia history either. If you live in Asia, you don't learn about European American history either, always, right? It's totally normal to learn about the history that is closest to you. But that just makes me question everything even more. Like, if you would, why would you even put this sensitive topic inside the game if it's just not to, you know, share or like teach people about this incident? It just felt extremely weird. Okay, but let's go in. So the company is like, recently we noticed there have been many discussions about the game Love and Deepspace and its promotional content circling on the internet. So they're like, we are acknowledging things that are an issue. Let me just go this slow, so if you want to, you can also pause and read everything. But actually I want to jump to a specific part first, and then I'm gonna Oops, this is the wrong one. I'm very. And then I'm gonna talk about some of the other things that's being brought up, because if you are into this drama, you also know there's more than just this specific number. But let's take the dates first. So the date controversy in the deep world of same dust with light, aka saviors under world underneath, light into dust. I'm just gonna read this out loud. I mean, you can also read it and pause it yourself, but I'm just gonna, might as well read it out loud. We have received feedback from players that there are misleading numbers in the world's harmony of light and dust, updated on April 21st this year. We attached great importance to this and immediately conducted internal verification. After confirmation, the number is a fictional date and has not been packed as it is meaningless placeholder. Wait, what? After confirmation, the number is a fictional date and has not been packaged as it is meaningless placeholder information. We fully understand the potential misunderstanding caused by this random number and will complete the online modification as soon as possible today. So this came out, they changed the number, they changed it to 611, and people were still angry. Also because they didn't apologize, right? They're like, you messed up, why did you not apologize? We want an apology. Okay, moving on, keep reading. The issue has exposed a lack of sensitivity among some members of the production team. This issue has exposed a lack of sensitivity among some members of the production team. We will strengthen training to avoid such situation from happening again. We will also further improve our internal audit mechanism, paying attention to every detail as much as possible to ensure quality of online content. Yeah, and this is the stamp, right? They even stamped this with their official stamp. Like, this is like the big deal. It's not just an announcement, it's an announcement with the official stamp of the company. So they were like, oh yeah, this happened, this is, we had a rookie mistake, it's not important, it's random. Meaningless placeholder. Imagine how that might sound for a lot of fans. Terrible. I mean, at least for me, I would have been angry. Imagine if a game were putting, like, if I was a Jew and someone was like, oh, now you have to learn about the Nazi stuff, and it's just overlooked as a random thing. Like the Crystal Night is a pretty sensitive date as well, right? It's just crazy to me that they were like, oh, it's meaningless, especially when China is extremely loud about hating Imperial Japan, which is obviously understandable, but it's not like how Western people talk about Hitler, I mean, like casually being like, yeah, he was bad, blah 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 blah, right? People get really extreme about this. So yeah. Either case, people were not happy about this, and the coincidence was just too much, and people were like, okay, but where's the apology? Why is this even in the game? Like, it's just, yeah, you have a, lack of sensitivity among the team members, but what's going on? That even made people question if they had like an international team, or like, yeah, it just caused a lot of questions, right? Everyone was like, what's going on? It doesn't make sense, it's crazy. Please apologize for this and explain yourself. Because we all know that this is not random. It's too coincident to be random. Because if it was random, they could have just named it 0001 or like 1234, or like a date that is not associated with anything with all Chinese people. No, all Chinese people know about this part of history. Everyone is forced to learn about it. They make movies every single year about this. This is like, you better not forget this happened kind of behavior, It's pretty extreme. Oh yeah, about the unit as well. If anyone wants to suffer a little bit or like to watch horrible things, there's a movie called Men of the Sun or something like that, which is, talking about this issue and portraying it so you can actually see it, Apparently it's very traumatic, so I do not recommend it again if you have a weak stomach, but if someone is interested in, actually seeing Kotek's horror like events, they can check that out. Okay, so what is the next thing then? So this happened, they apologized, we talk about this, Valko was still an issue, and this is, another thing that this is something I personally don't really please don't cancel me. I don't relate to this. the next point, but I will still bring it up to just, you know, be objective and state what was going on and happening during the whole drama. The next thing that happened is... Let me see, can I change the picture? Is this one? I had another picture. I think this is this one. Yeah. Screenshot. Yep, okay, let's go to this one. I think this one explains it pretty well. So this is... I'm just gonna keep it here, you can read it yourself. Or I'm gonna read it out loud too, but if you want you can pause it, because I know some people like to read it with themselves. Also because my pronunciation is not always great. I wasn't gonna post this because I'm not directly in the Chinese fandom, so a lot of this is secondhand information. Though I do speak Chinese, and I have seen it myself as well. And I also read a little bit of Chinese. And but people seem surprised that Valko was cancelled, and I don't see many people in English fandom talking about this. So here's a quick summary of some major reasons why the Chinese fandom was angry and pushed for cancellation. And this is about Valko's preview videos. I will consider if I have mental capacity to sit down and watch it on stream, and then we can discuss it after. But let's just give you the pretext of the issue, and then we can watch it, and then you guys can decide yourself. I'm not here to tell you how to feel. I'm just here to lay out things, and because I've been frustrated and I just want to talk about it. So yeah. Content warning: discussion of grape culture and SA murder war. There you have it. Actually, I'm not really sure what you're not allowed to talk about on YouTube, but this is an educational, as much as you can call that, about Deepspace. So in the promotion video, one, they used Jin Lang. Is it 新郎入窝? 新郎入窝, which pretty much means to invite the wolf in. The English equivalent has something similar. It's like inviting the house in. But the the thing here is, in English it sounds pretty okay, right? It's just like inviting invite the wolf in. Valko is the wolf, all good, right? But in Chinese it have a completely different connotation. Like it has different, I don't know if meaning is the right word, but like a different like underneath meaning tone to it that is not as whatever as that. Wait, I have a screenshot somewhere. Okay, it's somewhere, I don't know. Okay, let's keep reading. Wit is a victim blaming idiom, especially when used in romantic RS context, and especially when 色狼, second word meaning wolf, means pervert. Yeah, so when you are 色情 is like sexual stuff, or like, you know, so 色狼 is, you know, a pervert. This coupled with him coming in from the window, I mean, he came out in from the balcony, I think, reminded some of the very real issues of women's safety in China, where there have been numerous cases of men breaking into single women's houses to kill them, including a case in Wuhan where a guy climbed through the balcony window. Yeah, so this is obviously a very serious issue for girls all over the world. However, this is fictional and a very normal romantic trope. Maybe not romantic necessarily, but definitely a story trope, right? Some examples from the Western world is like Spider-Man or Peter Pan. But this whole issue also, I think, is that this specific idiom is victim blaming. It's extremely victim blaming. It's being like, if you get SA and people were asking, what were you wearing, right? It's like, it doesn't matter what I was wearing. This shouldn't have happened, right? So this is kind of what the idiom is giving. It's giving like extremely victim blaming, like, oh, this happened to you? Well, you brought that upon yourself, kind of, right? So yeah, so a lot of stalking and breaking in, and then the idiom as well just doesn't make it better. And all of this is kind of romanticized, right? Because Spider-Man, he just breaks in, but Mary Jane is also, I think she doesn't freak out, right? She's like, what is going on? Even Wendy in Peter Pan is like, what is going on? This is weird, right? And I don't know if Wendy and Peter Pan has a romantic thing going on, but you know, it doesn't look good for the Chinese on the Chinese side. I don't know how Westerners feel about this. Personally, for me, because it's fiction and I've seen it before, also I'm a huge fan of Choco Chara. And Ikuto, he also just comes into Amu's room, if I remember correctly. But yeah, I think it's a mix between, I think it's a mix of the idiom and the actually thing happening, because I'm gonna mention this and I hope no one lynches me, and I'm not saying that any of the other love interests have done it wrong, but Xavier, he goes through the balcony quite often though. But I guess for many players, it's also kind of like, it's established that they know each other and they know Xavier as a character very well because he's been in the game for a long time. For other people, Valko is a stranger. He's just released a few days ago. They don't know about him and they never will because now he's cancelled, but people were like, maybe this was a little bit too early for this kind of dating scenario, because we don't know how close they were in that dating scenario. It could be early dating stages, it could be after everything in main story ended and they are all together happily, pretty much living a domestic married life. But that was a very like, we don't exactly know. I do understand though why it could be triggering to some. Was it valid enough or like reasoning enough to cancel a character? I mean, maybe. I don't think so, but I think it's up to the individual, right? Everyone can have their own opinion about this. But this is just to bring some light. It was like victim blaming people for bringing a stranger into your house. Also in the PV, she's in the middle of something else. She's calling, like MC is calling Tara. But let's see if I can show you guys. Am I allowed to show Love and Deepspace promo videos? I guess so, right? Because I would say they count as similar to in-game content. And because I play in Chinese, and I put it as a disclaimer, but because he only survived the English edition, I will be playing the English edition. I just want to say though that the English is also really nice. I actually really like his English voice, surprisingly. But yeah, this is the video and we will be watching it. I don't know, should we watch it with sound? I don't know how to do the sound thing actually, so you just watch it without sound. I mean, he's just speaking anyway. And if people want to, they can go and check it out themselves afterwards. And if you happen to go check it out and it's gone, if you Google Valko PV, you will be able to find the video. People have been archiving this stuff for hours. Okay, but let's just go for it then. Oh wait, you guys can't see everything. Oh my god, this is kind of embarrassing. Okay, let me see. This is not everything. There's some text that you guys should probably read too. It's not that important, but I mean, you might as well get the whole context now that we're watching it together, right? Okay. Also, this video came out 26th, right? Yeah, 28th, okay. So it's been a few days. People have been questioning Valko. He doesn't really know how it feels like. Even for me, he grew on me. I was like, what is this furry guy? Why does he have ears? He doesn't really fit in. I don't hate him. He kind of my type, but also like, no, not my favorite type either. And worst case, I don't like him. When I read about him, he can still be in game because some other girls will like him, right? It's not like I'm asking people to delete Xavier or like Raphael or Sane because I have other favorites. So yeah, he grew on me, and I noticed in the comment section, especially on Global, that he also grew to be liked by a lot of fans. I think you just have to give him some more time and let him be properly introduced. But yeah, let's go back into it. Yeah, so this is pretty much just the scene, right? He's coming in. That is pretty much all of it. That's like, this is the scene. This is all. You see the moon. You have some thematic text, and he comes in, and she's calling someone, and he's asking, "Who are you talking to?" Pretty much that's it. Okay, this is something that was never mentioned on the Chinese side or the global side, but something that a lot of people associate with this scene. Also a scene later is that, okay, I guess here it's kinda a little bit mentioned, but it's not like black and white kind of thing. But you know, in every fairy tale, hunters are wolves' worst nightmare. Right, so this is, you know, this is a fairy tale setting, and that means that some people would associate this guy with Red Riding Hood or the Three Pigs. Is that what it's called? I don't think the Three Pigs is as big in China. Obviously it does exist, and I have heard the story in Chinese, but we have a different one, which is about a rabbit instead. Like, a rabbit shouldn't let strangers in to their house, and that is exactly what the Three Little Pigs is about as well, right? And the funny thing is, even in the Three Little Pigs, the whole story and moral is that do not let strangers in. I mean, we don't know their relation exactly, right? I mean, we can keep watching this one. And then there was the whole, like, Home Alone hunter, better watch out. You know, that probably also triggered a lot of people. Like, you know, especially if the whole thing about safety and women living alone, and then, you know, this guy coming in unannounced. And yeah, obviously we don't know what part of the relationship they are, but yeah. Let's just keep watching. Wait, actually I feel like you guys should listen to his voice. I actually don't know. Wait, I can learn a little bit. Application, audio capture. Audio, I did probably this one, right? Let's see. There you go. Is it annoying that I'm covering?
Hey, who are you talking to? Take me in for the night. Trying to muzzle me? It's a little too late. Are you nervous or something? It's late. Of course I'm gonna play around with you. What's the difference between me carrying you and you walking in? It's what I do for you. Since you're eager to learn and apply newfound knowledge, I'll be your test subject. If you really want to learn about the wolves' secret, fine. Let me just get my scent all over you. We were probably in a your mind sort of dynamic. There, that's better. It's too late. Your body has my scent. Now, the whole force knows you're my emergency ration. What the? Easy there. And I didn't think you were a hunter with a knack for walking into traps. And here's a counterattack.
You always say my scent is different. What do I smell like?
It's like the wilderness. Earth. Open savannas and the wind. Other times it's a stream, a mountain, a pretty moonrise. And it can often remind me of a burnt pancake on a stove. Just kidding. That's how raising wolves works. Being soft-hearted, even for a second, you'd be in their net. When I like someone, I make a move. Biologically speaking, we came from the same primordial biomolecular soup, and we evolved under the same conditions. We're not that different. And what's so bad about wolves being at the door? One peek is enough for him to open the doors for you.
Wait, let me just go back for this one. Is it?
What's so bad about wolves being at the door? One peek is enough for him to open the doors for you. The first lesson of hunting.
I think there was a controversial thing about this one too. Well, let's see. Let me just re-listen again. 1 peek is enough for him to open the door for you.
The first lesson of hunting 101. Don't make any noise when moving and breathing. You have eyes. I'm relaxing. Did the wolves eat it? You should have said so sooner. I would have run on all fours. Huh? You're lucky today. Well, did I meet your expectations? The answer I'm looking for. It's in you. The ending doesn't matter. I'm gonna witness it firsthand.
Lab and Deepspace. So yeah, so this is the trailer, right? Not the trailer, the second promo video. I watched a few Chinese fans react to it on Xiaohongshu, but both of the ones I watched that made the biggest impact was people who are actually not fans. So like people outside the fandom. Both of them were like, wow, this actually, you know, grew or like spiraled to a point that it reached me. Let me react and see what the big deal is. And all of the girlies were like, oh, we actually, oh wait, I'm like my BGM. But like, oh, I watched all the other guys' stuff as well. And when they showed some of the stuff they watched, it was like card events and recent banners, right? And I don't think that counts because the recent banners doesn't show all the problematic stuff the other love interests do, but they definitely also do some things of. Obviously, everyone's limits are different, so some would interpret something as stalking, and some might interpret something as other kind of things. And if you're into Caleb, you know that his route is a little bit more an acquired taste, very specific for people, not for everyone. Also because he was different for the start for English players. So for Chinese players and Japanese players, and Korean players, we kind of knew what he was, right? We're like, oh, we know what you are. But for English players, they actually censored a lot of his content, so yeah. For people curious, is the pseudo-incest. Yeah. Okay, but going back to Valko, people were watching the whole promo video, right? And they were saying things like, they could see the other love interests were pretty, but for Valko, they were actually pretty honest. They were like, we don't think he's handsome, but we don't think he's ugly either. He has this middle thing where you're left with, I don't know how to feel. And honestly, that was also a little bit how I felt in the beginning, right? I saw him and I was not like, wow, hottie, and I was not like, wow, ugly either. I was like, oh, there's something I like about him and something I don't really like about him. I couldn't really put a finger on it. Whereas when I saw Caleb, I was like, this is love at first sight, man. I'm marrying this guy. And then when I saw this, I was in denial for like 2 weeks or like for 2 months. I was like, I don't need him. I don't like him. He's not my type. And then, I don't know. Now he's my second favorite. What can I do? Or like, Caleb and Silas are pretty similar in ranking, so I can't even say that. They're both number one in my heart. I have 2 hands. It's all good, right? So for this guy, I couldn't really do the same thing, and you know, that's fine. And the other girls that was from outside the fandoms also said the same thing. What they pointed out that they didn't like about him in a very, you know, mature and not hater kind of way was that they felt he was a little bit rough around the edges, and he was swearing, and the way he was speaking was extremely arrogant and not very polite and respectful toward the main character. And considering that he's supposed to be a morally great character, I don't personally have an issue with it, but if you're someone who was expecting a man in fiction to always respect you and treat you well, this is probably what you're gonna get from Valko's character, right? So obviously a lot of girls might have been feeling like that was missing. Even for other morally great characters like Caleb and Silas, they treat and speak to MC in a very sweet and nice and endearing way. They're respecting her a lot. But I think the whole thing with Valko is that he's gonna have a little bit of bickering dynamic with the MC. So that's probably why he's like, you know, swearing and talking a little bit rudely. But yeah, it's just, I'm just pointing it out, that there were some of the other issues they had with his character. Okay, there was a section here, I'm gonna see if I can find it.
And what's so bad about Wolf being at the door?
Yeah, this one. You can see that they're having... Wait, my head isn't away. Let's see if I can move it a little bit. Yeah, so this scene...
And what's so bad about Wolf being at the door? One peek.
I think because we don't see MC's face, we can't tell if she's smiling, laughing, in distress. But for a lot of fans, this scene was not just friendly bickering. It felt like assault to them.
One peek is enough for him to open the door.
Away.
And what's so bad about Wolf being at the door? One peek is...
He keep pushing her down, right? And I think that's why people felt the grape thing. And honestly, you guys have seen it. I have seen it. That's not it. It's not it. That's not it. It's not grape. We don't know what it is because we will never get the card. He's cancelled, but the MC could be smiling. It could be consent. It could be just normal bickering between, you know, partners, right? But yeah, this was a whole deal as well. And then there was this comment as well during this section with Sass. Wait, one more time. And what's so bad about Wolf being at the door? For Chinese fans, I think they felt like it was asking, what's so bad about having a stalker, a male, uninvited at your door, right?
At the door.
One peek is enough for him to open the door for you. And for global fans, I think some said that the MC is the hunter, and the MC is the wolf, and we are like, you know, hunting down. So we are actually the one he should be careful of because we're the one who are like coming for him, right? And that makes a little sense because in the beginning it does says that hunters is the wolf worst nightmare. But honestly, I will be honest, I don't really understand these two phrases. It doesn't make sense to me. So like, what is wrong with having a wolf at the door? One peek is enough for him to open the door for you. So is it me peeking, or is he peeking and then he opens the door? Because if I had to look at it in a very negative and she kind of way, I could be like, what's about having a guy in front of your door who can, if you just look, he can just tear open your door and let himself in, right? And you'll be like, that's not great, that's not nice, I kind of don't like this. I did watch this in Chinese a few times as well, and I don't remember if I noticed anything specific about it, but it does has him, like the character for him doing the door opening. So it could also just be... I can't even justify it, because if the hunter is the one who's coming for him, then the one with him being outside the door doesn't make sense, right? Because it says, what's wrong with having a wolf at the door? So if it's like the wolf is at the door and you're peeking at him and then he's gonna force the door open, is that how they are interpreting this? As a bad thing? But even if you don't interpret it as a bad thing, I'm like, I still don't get it. It's like the wolf is standing outside the door and then he peeks and then he sees it's you and then he'll open the door like a small puppy. Because that's also how it could be read, right? So like, what's wrong with having a puppy outside the door? He takes a small look and then he knows it's you and he's ready to open the door for you. Because they're also trying to sell him as this extremely puppy, pure, and innocent love, which is great and all nice because we do like very, very obsessive how's the other word, overflowed in love with you type of character, right? That is the whole thing that people usually like. Okay, I think that is this for this one. Another thing though, what also happened is we continue this one. 2. Before the stream, I did not watch the live stream, but I do know the clip they're talking about. So before the live stream, they had a teaser where they made a joke of like hunters living alone. 别在锅里洗澡 translated to don't bath in the pot, which even if unintentional happens to seem like it is a reference referencing a famous murder case where a husband dismembered his wife and boiled her remains in a pot. Yeah, this is actually a thing, and I want to say reason. It doesn't famous. I guess this one doesn't say reason, it says famous, but I think people be nitpicking about some people calling it reason. This murder case took place in 2024, but it's 2 years ago, and I think 2 years ago, if it's a really big famous case, it's still considered recent. I mean, we still remember the pandemic, right? And that is also pretty recent. Yeah. So with this one specifically, because it didn't happen on global side, I can't really talk about whether or not this is triggering for me. Obviously it's not triggering for me because I don't know about the case, but if I knew about the case, it might have been triggering for me. Also, I think it's an extremely weird line to say to promote the kitchen feature in the game, which is, by the way, super cool. I'm super excited about that. Like, don't bathe in the pot? Like, what? If you're promoting a kitchen, wouldn't you be saying something like, be careful not to cut yourself, or enjoy a delicious meal, or like, there's so many things they could have picked. It just feels extremely weird, and especially when it's a really big, famous case. I read a lot of comments on the Chinese side where people also mentioned that a lot of men have been using it as a threat against their wives because of this case. They would be like, oh, if you don't listen, then be careful you don't get boiled, right? Or like, you should be grateful that you're not getting boiled. Like, they were actually using this reference where the husband who murdered and boiled her wife, you know, as a threat of, you know, girls not being grateful, or like pushing women into obedience. Is that what I word? Obedience? I just feel like, okay, I guess that's a huge issue. Also, the whole balcony thing too. I saw a girl on Xiaohongshu saying that if we womanize this, what if a guy ends up doing that and being, oh, but this is what girls like, right? And honestly, yes, it makes sense. I totally agree. Like, we don't want to give guys the impression that everything we enjoy in fiction is real and something that we actually want to happen. But at the same time, I also want to say that even if it's something that we should be aware of, removing it from fiction is not the solution. Like, obviously, we don't want guys to think that all girls want to have, you know, a possessive yandere type of guy, but that doesn't mean women shouldn't be allowed to enjoy yandere obsessive guys in fiction, right? So I feel like it's a stretch, but knowing China and their strict rules and restrictions, obviously they have to make everything perfectly good and you can't have anything bad, right? So that's pretty much how it kind of blew up. And this particular thing blew up in this governmental women's foundation or something, which is, I think, an organization that is specialized in women's safety and health. I don't want to talk about whether these fans support women's rights outside of their gaming time, but yeah. So yeah, this is what happened. That company went in, they saw the video, they saw the line, and they were like, how dare this game, you know, produce this kind of content and romanticizing it. So where I can see why it could be triggering for Chinese people particularly, and obviously we shouldn't make fun of their feelings and, you know, the murder case and be insensitive about it. I also at the same time don't think that it is enough to, you know, cancel a character. But this is the whole controversial thing. Like, it's a whole conspiracy because I honestly do believe that some fans and some people will feel uncomfortable about this. Like, even people outside the fandom were commenting that this particular things made them uncomfortable. So it's not even about, oh, my love interest is not getting enough content, I hate this character kind of thing. They don't even play the game. They were honestly just being honest about their honest opinion. And the way I know that they were a little bit more sincere is that they didn't just jump the pile and mention all the same things that everyone else does. They were like, oh, this is my personal opinion and this is what I noticed. And I understand that some girls like it, but honestly it's not for me. And I'm like, okay, that is extremely mature and large and nice. So I'm sure there's some girls. It's always like there's always some, right? But I'm also pretty sure that some people probably were like just nitpicking every single thing. Also, I do know that there are screenshots from the Chinese social medias that show Chinese people or like messages in Chinese being like, oh yeah, I just said it to blow things up, I just use it. And obviously I'm sure there's some who did, but I don't think we can generalize and say that every single Chinese people were lying about it and all Chinese fans are crazy, you know? I think that's not how we're gonna solve this issue. But definitely it's still something that we should be respectful about. While not being happy that this ended up affecting Valko. It's just overall, I feel like it's just not great. Okay, so after this happened, right, we are going back to wait. Where is... Oh, there you go. Not this one. Oh, the announcement. So they also addressed this part, right? Obviously, because they were like, we hear you guys. We hear you about the 731. We hear you about the part and the inviting the characters in issues that you're concerned about. Let's address it. This announcement was obviously still never posted on global, but you know, it existed in Chinese side, and I'm sure it had been spread around global as well, but you know, I was like, I might as well just bring it up. Okay, so controversy caused by copywriting in some markets. In the 3-day countdown announcement of the live broadcast released on June 25th, the phrase taking a bath in a pot that we talked about was accused of content innuendo. In fact, this copy is a warm-up packaging for the kitchen gameplay in the upcoming Home 201 version and has been processed in a non-daily style in conjunction with the overall setting of the live podcast Rules and Strange Tales. The above information can be verified in the completed live broadcast content. Okay, so let's talk about this first. They were like, guys, no, it is not related. This is actually, you know, because we're promoting a kitchen, we are commenting on a pot, and that is why this sentence came to be, and it's to promote the new kitchen feature. The thing is still though, as I said earlier, there's a million, if not a billion, phrases you can use to promote a kitchen. Like, be careful not to cut yourself with a knife, make delicious food, try different dishes. There's so many things that you can actually, you know, talk about or like use as the catchphrase. Taking a bath in the pot is just not very professional or like a good choice overall. I'm so sorry. If you guys had the famous murder case around this specifically, this is just not the right choice. I'm so sorry. I think this is false on the company 100%. I just don't think that's the right choice. Whether fans have used it is another thing, but I don't think it should have been what the company should have been talking about. Also, especially because they say that this is a little bit wonky and has been posted in a non-daily style in conjunction with the overall setting of the live podcast Rules and Strange Tales. When I read this on my phone, I'm pretty sure it was saying something along the lines of, because there was a theme of our live stream, which was rules and strange tales, we decided to use this line, which I also again need to question because it literally translates to rules and strange tales, or like rules or horror stories. And if you're trying to promote a horror story and bring up a famous case of a woman, a wife getting murdered in a pot, or like, was that your intention? I mean, you said it was to promote this, but the theme was rules and horror stories. I'm like, wait, that doesn't make sense to me personally. It was a bad choice, is my call, or what I would say. And I think them apologizing and acknowledging fans is a step forward. I'm not forgiving and excusing everything else they're doing. I still am waiting for a comment about the Unit 731. And also, I just should probably also say this because that's one thing I have. I would love to have Valko back in the game. He grew so much on me just with these few videos. I would actually love to have him back. He would have been my top 3, and he would have been my what is this called? United banners. I forgot what they're called. You know, the banner where all the love interests are in. He would have been my 3rd choice because Xavier and Caleb are obviously. I don't know why. I like all the holy grey ones. Now I actually wanted to check the translation again, or like Chinese part for this, because this is a little bit uncertain. Give me a second while I scroll through social media to find the post. Oh, here it is. It says... Oh yeah, here. Adopting an offbeat tone that aligns with the overall aesthetic of the Rule horror story livestream. So the line was picked to match the aesthetic of the livestream rules and horror stories, or rules and strange tales, however you want to like phrase that. And that is why I think it's weird, because if it is a horror story, obviously, for women to fear that their husbands are gonna sample them and boil them in a pot, you know, that is a true horror, you know. And I'm not sure how to feel about this. This is like taking a bath in a pot is such a specific weird thing to say for promoting a kitchen feature, but still trying to align to some horror things, but actually directly referencing maybe or not maybe, I don't know, a real incident that happened only 2 years ago that was blew up. It's just wild to me. I don't know, I just feel like it's crazy and a little bit insensitive as well from the team. If you were a female developer, I don't know why you would do that, but I heard the rumors, I don't know if it's true, that a lot of the female developers were actually have actually gotten exchanged by males now. Obviously, I don't know any employees, but if that was the case, maybe I didn't really think about it, because it could have been a fun joke, right? Like, haha, if you don't listen, I'm gonna boil you, you know, because like the case, right? I couldn't imagine people jokingly about that, and I don't know, it's not fun. I don't find this fun. But again, this is just my personal feelings about this. It has nothing to do about whether Valko should have cancelled or not. But I understand that all of this piling together can make it very emotional, and they already had a lot of frustration, and then all this happened. Everything just pretty much crashed and burned. But let's keep reading this second part. Due to a large amount of misinterpretation of the content packaging currently circulating, all related content has been deleted to avoid unnecessary inconvenience to players. I also urge everyone not to believe such rumors easily. In addition, the cutscene text of inviting Wolf into the room in the PV Instinct Fall rule, released on June 28, is a copywriting packaging combined with the identity of a new male lead werewolf that has no other meaning. We have noticed some controversy surrounding this text, and in order to avoid affecting the player experience, this text will be uniformly adjusted to pure love Wolf King in the BW release materials and materials. Okay, let's take my other translation, because that doesn't make sense. Additional interstitial text inviting the wolf into the house in the PV titled The Law of Instinctual Surrender, released of June 28, was crafted to align with the new male lead werewolf identity and carries no other significance. We have noted some controversy surrounding this text. To avoid impacting the player experience, the phrase in all BW related assets and materials will be uniformly changed to the pure love wolf king. And honestly, I think that's great. I was like, yeah, we understand, we hear what you're saying, we are changing it in all future content. But saying it has no significant meaning, I mean, maybe they didn't really think about it. And in English, I would have trusted that, because inviting wolf into your room is not a big deal. But if it's an idiom, an actual idiom, you know, like saying don't judge a book on its cover, or like, you know, those kind of wording words, right? Or like, I don't even know that many idioms myself. But yeah, stuff like that, then it's a very famous saying and you know what connotation it has. I just fail to see why this keeps happening, all these insensitive coincidences that just doesn't make sense to me. Like, what do you mean that it has no significance and then still manage to pick an idiom that has those connotations? Okay, before people, I'm gonna see if I can find an image of the dictionary. I would have done this if I was on my phone, but I'm not. Did I open a tab with this? I have so many tabs opened. Wait, oh, here it is. I actually found it. Okay, I'm just gonna open this in the browser so you guys can see it. Okay. Try that. Okay, let's see. Go back here. This one. You guys can actually see. I think it's fine to. It's public domain anyway, so if everyone can go in and check it. So this is probably a Taiwanese person who's posting this, because this is a Taiwanese pronunciation and not the pinyin, the way that you're reading this. But I think it's Yin Lang Ru Wu. Invite a wolf into one's house, open the door to an enemy. Is the meaning. And the comment and the who posted this writes, non-oof, but I believe the phrase they used was this, and it is saying that you can find in dictionary entries. The word lang means wolf. If you're looking for fault, then this can be interpreted in the worst possible way possible, but if we're interpreting it in good faith, they were probably just trying to find a quirky line to put in the ad trailer. Because yeah, it means invite the wolf into one's house, but it has extremely what's it called, victim blaming connotations as well. So, and this is maybe not written in the dictionary, but those kind of things are usually not written, right? Wait, let me see. I want to put it in my. Is it not? How do I read this? Yin Lang. Oh, here it is. Yin Lang Ru Si. Sorry, this is how you pronounce it. This is how you read it. Yin Lang Ru Si. Let me just. Invite a wolf into one's house, open the door to an enemy. 1. Lit, to show the wolf into the house. Idiom. 2. To introduce a potential source of trouble. So this screenshot is obviously cut. I'm using the dictionary called Picrew, which is free on your phone. You can download it and check it out yourself. It's one of the best Chinese dictionaries out there for anyone who might be learning Chinese or anything. So yeah, obviously, obviously this have, you know, pretty much like you did this to yourself. Like you introduced the trouble to yourself, you invited the wolf in. And it's a 成语, an idiom, so it has the specific meaning and connotation. Actually, I kind of want to try to Google this, give me a second, and see if there's anyone who has more information about how this 成语 is supposed to be understood, because 成语 has, you know, a specific meaning in itself. It doesn't need context, it has its own context. Well, it does have a specific meaning, but what I mean is that by saying this 4-letter like word, you have oops. I should have done this before the video, but I didn't think about it. Okay, here you have it. Inviting a wolf into the house, 拼音引狼入室. This metaphor describes how bringing bad people or enemies into one's own territory can lead to great disaster. This idiom carries a warning connotation and is usually used to describe the seriousness consequences caused by inadequate precautions in interpersonal communication, business cooperation, or organizational management. And this is from Baidu, where this Chinese Google would also have what's it called, look up page, translation tool slash, you know, you can go on Baidu and be like, what does this mean, and it will tell you what it means. But it's synonyms: to open the door to thief, to invite someone into a trap. Example: when bidding for confidential company project, it is essential careful examine potential parties to avoid inviting trouble. Okay, but yeah, so you can hear it's pretty much is pretty bad, and it means don't invite the trouble and in yourself, or like don't do this, you will be inviting trouble in yourself. So yeah. Also, yeah, people saying that the fairy tales have always been part of his marketing, and I think it was only really part of it during the trailer that we watched together, when it was released on June 28th, right? But he was officially released on June 22nd, so there was still some gaps in there. Obviously, for Westerners, they might be like, yeah, Little Red Riding Hood, and the Three Pigs. But for Chinese, wolves are a little bit more distant out there. Some people have it in mythologies. I think see a lot of people say that it reminds them of nature as well. But you know, nature and fairy tales are, you know, two different vibes. Only for me, they give me different vibes. And this is honestly such a mood. Like, what the fuck is Info doing? Like, all these things is too bad. And then you guys have here too, like the 731, the whole is like similar to Holocaust. It's just pretty bad, everything. Like, it's just so many things all at once, pretty much, and that is why people are angry. And yeah, let's go back to the announcement. So yeah, so this is pretty much the two connotations. Again, is this serious enough to cancel a character? You tell me, but I think it's fair to have understanding for why it blew up in China, both for the crazy fans, insane ones, and for just the normal fans as well, who might have playing a little bit more casually, being like, this is kind of weird, this is not for me. And then obviously there were also fans who felt like they couldn't speak up, who actually don't have an issue about it, because the loud ones are obviously higher. But there's so many people in China, it's really difficult to satisfy everyone. And obviously we saw this time too, and even now when we have the whole like Bring Valko Back campaign that I'm also going to talk about, you can tell that some fans are like, oh, we wanted to speak up and we really love Valko as well, but you also have the fans who were like, oh yeah, blame the Chinese people, it's all their fault. Oh, I'm also Chinese, I hate them all so much. Like, you know, shooting themselves, I don't know, it just feels extremely awkward. I don't really go there. It's not my house, but it's just sometimes I even question if it's real. Sometimes when I see a Chinese person being like, writing, how much did they pay you? Like, are you a bot? I actually start to believe that some people are paid to be trolls because it's just so insanely crazy. No, but let's keep looking at this announcement. Let's keep talking about this because this was not posted on global, so let's just see what the rest was. Explanation of the series rumor says that overseas customized characters, full sex game, Valko. Oh my god, why is the translation so bad? That is not what it's supposed to say. Let me just read what I thought. That translation was okay. It was okay in the beginning, now it's bad. Okay. Explanation regarding rumors about the overseas custom characters, all orientation games, and Valko series. I'm still leaving this out here, guys, so you guys want to read, because overall you guys might be able to pick out what it means. I just don't, because I don't have brain cells. As a dating simulation game, Love and Deepspace has consistently strived to deliver a richer, more diverse gaming experience to players. Each male protagonist is aimed at players worldwide, hoping to win the affection of all hunter ladies with high-quality content and a delightful emotional experience. Okay, this is obviously page 1, so let me just upload page 2 for you, so you can keep coming along while I'm reading this. Yeah. What did I say? Experience. Rumors of custom-made characters tailored to a specific country or region are inconsistent with our policy, and moreover, with the standard practices of game development operations. Wait, no, that was wrong. Custom-made characters tailored to a specific country or region are inconsistent with our philosophy, and moreover, with the standard. Oh wait, did you use it? Okay. Sometimes when I see the word used twice after each other, I feel like I read wrong, but it's actually used moreover twice. Development and tailored to a specific country or region are inconsistent with our philosophy and moreover with the standard practices of game development and operations. Moreover, the series of rumors about game for all sexual orientations are nothing but baseless nonsense. Oh my god, bro. That blatantly disregards our long-standing identity as a dating sim publisher. Okay. Let's talk about this first. I want to look at the Chinese one because that is some statement there. It says dating sim, but I'm not sure if the Chinese actually says otome, you know, or is it... Just again. What does the other translation say? Let's take a look at this. The rumors of customized characters target only to a certain region or country. It is not in line with our philosophy, let alone normal game development and operation idea. Okay, this one, this is sounding a little bit better than the other one now. The series of rumors about all gender-oriented games ignore the base positioning that we have always had as female gamers. That's what I was looking for, because I'm pretty sure they actually straight out say, we are making this for girls. Which is fine, and I know that to all the guys who might be watching this video, I hope that you guys can have a game as well where you can date any girl, any guy, any bisexual, anyone you want. But just please respect that we also just want some games where we can just be girls and date guys. I mean, I would love to date anything, but I'm still think that for the girlies who don't have anything else, they should be allowed to have games in their specific niche as well. Otome have always been a niche after all. Okay, let's see. What does it say Chinese? I don't see it in Chinese. Am I blind? Oh wait, I'm too far. That's what. Yeah, it actually says in Chinese, Otome games, which we have been talking about, is already mentioned, which means girls. And when I say girls, I mean any girl. So if you're a bisexual girl, you are free to play too. Like, there's no rule. Even if you're a guy, you're allowed to play. It's just that the heroine, like the main character model, is usually a female MC dating straight men, I guess. Yeah. Personally, I would love to see a poly dating sim. And the reason why I call it dating sim and not Utama is like I want it to be a poly anything. Like I want to date 2 guys and 1 girl. I want to date 2 girls. Anything you want, right? You can be anything. You just feel free, be happy, date whatever. I know that English and Global has a game called Date Everything. I haven't tried it yet. I watched a few people play it and it looks really fun. Maybe I'll check that out sometime. But yeah, poly dating sim. Someone. If I knew how to code, I would do it myself. Maybe that's what I should be doing next year as a hobby side thing. Try to code a dating sim. Yeah. So they actually did state like, hey, we are female gamers, made for ultimate gamers. The problem is that Chinese fans want this information to be relayed to overseas fans as well, so the information relayed everywhere is consistent. And as we already talked about, and as I said earlier, this specific announcement was never released on the Japanese, Korean, or the English platform, or at least not on Twitter. I haven't checked Instagram, but honestly, if it's not on Twitter, probably not on Instagram either. It was only released in China, and it has the official stamp too, as you can see here, official stamp. Which I also will talk a little bit about later, because this stamp is like, if you say something with this stamp, is like for real. You cannot go back on it. People can use this stamp and probably go to court with it. I don't know if they want to sue. I don't know. I think that's how it works with the stamp. It's pretty serious, right? And that's also why a lot of fans was like, when you guys cancel Valko, you did not stamp your, statement. That is untrustworthy. And I guess I'm happy personally that they didn't stamp it, because that means that if there's any chance at all, we might actually be able to get Valko back. But I'm also like, considering how everything worked out, happened, it wouldn't be surprising to me if we just never see him again, which is really, really tragic, honestly. There's so much content lost, and I'm gonna talk about that too. There's so much stuff I want to talk about. Do you guys understand now why I want to do a live stream? Because there's so much stuff I want to talk about. It's everywhere. I don't know what to start, I don't know what to end. There's just so much going on, and I want to be as partial as possible, understanding both sides, but it's just, everything's just burning. Oh, yeah. And then his name as well. This one I haven't seen that many mention. Not English side, not Chinese side. I don't know, maybe there were some people who are writing complaint in general in email, because obviously we don't see those. But they address this as well. But the English name Valko for Arwen originates from Slavic language and can be transliterated as Valko in Chinese. Its original meaning is wolf, symbolizing courage, strength, and independence, and it's a choice that fits the character design, neglecting the actual sources and meanings of vocabulary and interpreting them through transliteration is all rumors. Okay, let's see. What does the other translation say? But yeah, this is what I've been doing. I've been reading a million comments and translating them and reading them in Chinese to refer back and forth, going on global side as well. It's just been so much stuff. I didn't have a life the last 2 days. I was so devastated. I couldn't sleep, keep thinking about it. I didn't know what to do. And I'm a casual player, but it still affected me so much. Oh, here we have it. The English name Valko, derived from Slavic, can be transliterated into Chinese as Valko. Its original meaning is wolf, symbolizing courage, strength, and independence, the same, making it a fitting choice that aligns with the character design, the same. Ignoring the actual origin of words and relying on phonetic transliteration-based interpretation of their meanings are all mere rumors. What is this referred to? What do they mean? Why is Valko a bad name? So, this is what I heard. I don't know the characters. I'm not familiar with this term either. I know about Unit 731, but I do not know about this specifically. But apparently, Valko sounds similar to Japanese pirates, which is apparently the term that Chinese people, don't quote me on this, used to call Imperial Japan when they were invading them. Again, this is speculation, maybe, who knows. I haven't seen this being talked about a lot, but I'm just bringing it up because now it's out here and I'm reading it out loud for you guys. So if anyone was curious and want to know everything without having too much drama and hate everywhere, this is where this comes from. And I think that explains Valko. Aoin is, I don't know what that means. These have characters. I don't know if there's any other meaning behind it. There probably is. Or why wouldn't there? Sun Jinghui, Savior's Chinese name, has so much meaning behind it. Pngtuber has behind it. Xia Yizhou has name behind it. Li Sheng, Qiyu. They all have names. The Chinese name all have extremely deep meanings behind the name. So I'm not surprised if Aoin also had some specific meanings behind his name. I know a lot of people have been making fun of his name because Aoin, O-E, but people really shorten his name to O and I because it's just easier and they find it weird. I don't know. I'm not Chinese to know if this is a weird Chinese name. Like, if you ask me if an English name is weird, I could probably have a, a gut feeling, but I can't tell if it's weird or not. But I'm just happy that they, probably address this. I still want, again, I said this before too, them to apologize for, all the controversies, because they haven't apologized. They're just like, oh, we see this happening, okay, this is not true, you guys are lying, we're not wrong. I just want them to apologize. I'm a forgiving person. I don't forget, but I forgive. So if they just apologize, be like, hey guys, sorry we messed up, yes, this was actually meant to be related to these things or whatever, because we thought blah blah blah. It might burn as well, but I prefer transparency. I like honesty, and that's just how I am as a person. Okay, yeah, moving on. Sorry, I got a little bit emotional. Since it's loud, love perhaps blah blah blah. Oh yeah, something else that Chinese fans have been extremely angry and unhappy with. Again, not sure if it's related to Valko, but this is something I have noticed since launch. Honestly, it's been since the game started out back in 2 years ago. Because this is a Chinese game, right? So a lot of Chinese people feel like it's extremely Chinese. They want it to be Chinese. They want it to be exported as a Chinese game, so people don't just erase their culture and the creators. Like, when people talk about Genshin, everyone thinks Genshin is a Japanese game. If you ask a lot of Chinese Genshin players, they're actually really upset about that. Fortunately, miHoYo is extremely, oh, that's not what I call it, Hoyoverse is extremely good at, promoting Chinese culture with, like, for example, Yunjin, with Beijing Opera, or like Liyue region. Like, there's a lot of things, right? And as a foreign player, I do think they have been extremely good at pushing the content. One thing is pushing the content, another thing is if the fan base and the consumers want to consume it. You get what I mean? So they have been making videos about like Chinese arts and craft and paintings, and they haven't done it as much recently, I think, but they used to do it a lot. I think now they just make posts. I think they even made one recently. Let's take a look actually. Let's go back to Twitter. Twitter. Again, if they're gonna complain, we're gonna make sure them accountability, so we might as well just let me do space. At least we are scrolling. Oh, I think I saw one in English too. I know it existed. I guess this is also like 粽子 is a Chinese food item. How do you explain this? It's like a banana leaf wrapping rice in banana leaves. Is it banana leaves? Bamboo leaves? It's in big leaves at least. And you eat it during the Dragon Boat Festival. And it's a very nice and cool thing. So see, this is Chinese culture, right? And they even call it 粽子, right? It's like, if the Chinese name, everything should be fine. I don't see the issue. Oh yeah, this one is what I was talking about. The 端午 Festival. And what it means and what it's from, wow, I'm so tired. The cultural heritage in English. So again, it's all about whether fans want to consume it versus them actually doing it. So you can see that they do it. They used to make videos though, so it would be like interviews with like a master of the specific art, and they will talk about it. Look at him, isn't he the dope? Sorry, yeah. So people are explaining, and people are like, wow, this is so cool, and or maybe no, they were like, can we please have a Caleb update? But yes, they're like, oh, Valko can carry my waist that you update main story. See, so yeah, people are still, you know, interacting, but they did try, right? They do try. So saying that Love and Deepspace do not try to import any cultural thing is pretty a lie. Maybe Chinese fan wish that did more, but it's not like it don't do it, right? It's, I just showed you, it's not like they don't. It does exist. They do try, and also we get free Primo gems. No, that's Genshin. We do get free gems. Sometimes during specific holidays, they will actually, I remember we had a Chinese one that's called 我爱你, which is pretty much the 20th of March, that's a lie, 20th of May, the 520, and it's pronounced 我爱你, I love you. So that is also a Valentine's Day. I think we got a redemption code for free gems. And that is teaching foreigners about Chinese culture, right? I don't see, again, obviously maybe they wanted more. So what I think, this is completely just my thought, my personal opinion, is that I think what they wanted is not that kind of Chinese culture, maybe also, but they want the Chinese holidays to be in the game. I have to admit this, I actually haven't played Love and Deepspace during Halloween and Christmas. Not, well, at least I don't remember those two very specific Western holidays. But according to Chinese fans, I don't have proof. I would check it if I could, but I will be so honest that I don't even know where to start to check it if I wanted to check it. Sometimes we get letter mails, right? Oh, it's a new day for me. Did we have Lincoln New Year heartwarming package, housewarming, gift of second anniversary, New Dawn Day, Sarah Moon Day, Spring Fresh Day, Lanternette. Okay, Lanternette Day is such a, like, we all know what that is. That is like Chinese New Year, right? New Dawn, I don't think so. Moonlit Orchid Day, Spring Fresh Holidays, Azure Echo Day, Lincoln New Year gift. I mean, I don't know, maybe I wasn't logged in. I have to admit, I don't log in I don't even log in every single day. I try to, but it's not always the priority, right? But people have things, so. But Chinese fans have been saying that Christmas and Halloween keep their names in the game. Meanwhile, whereas things such as Chinese New Year or like Chinese Valentine's Day, not the 20th May, but the one in July, which is on 7/7, which is pretty much Tanabata in Japan, which is the story about two people in, what is it, the god and the my god, I'm so illiterate. The god and the guy on the ground who have cows. They can meet once a year because they make a bridge. So this is like a very deep, very Asian-based romantic love story, actually. I think Korea might have it as well. But yeah, it's pretty much Tanabata, right? Or like Qixi. Qixi in Chinese. So yeah. So people were complaining about that. They were like, if I'm dating my boyfriend, or why can't I bring him home on Chinese New Year? I'm not bringing him home on Lanternette, whatever day. I need to bring him home on Yuan Xiao, which is the Chinese New Year. Like, why do they have to do that? And they were very angry about the Chinese New Year updates on global server. They were like, why are we not calling it Chinese New Year on global? Why is it called whatever New Year? It's a small things. Again, there's so many picking. Also, I think for the global, we are very all about inclusiveness. It's like, it's the most important. We don't care about anyone. It's just about everyone has to be happy. And honestly, I mean, I get it, but it's not that. It's pretty difficult, right? In the West, we call it Lunar New Year. but Chinese people want it to be Chinese New Year because it's obviously originally came from China. Obviously, every country do things a little bit different, but it was originally from China. Some people even want people to say that Lunar New Year is wrong. It should be Lunar Solar New Year because of the sun and moon's positioning and whatnot. I don't know. I'm not into that, so I haven't really read about it. But yeah, obviously also because Lunar New Year, Chinese New Year, Yuan Xiao is very, very, very big event in China. It's a time of the year where everyone meets up with their families, with their loved ones. So that was the reasoning. At least that was the reasoning back in 2 years ago. So yeah, let's go back to the announcement. Yeah, so in the announcement, yeah, you can see it here. Since its launch, Love and Deepspace has actively taken on the responsibility of cultural globalization upon game content as a carrier to convey Chinese culture to global players through various fun ways. As a Chinese company, we have always regarded it as a responsibility and have never stopped pushing our culture to go global. But every time there are special notes, there will always be a large number of online accounts spreading rumors, hereby inciting players' emotions. Such rumors of inciting players' emotions. Such rumors often use out of context methods of fabricate false information and create screenshots of chat records for dissemination in order to gain the trust of some players through inflammatory remarks and achieve personal goals. We have also noticed that some online accounts have clearly organized the fabrication and dissemination of false information. This type of behavior damages players' emotions, exploits players for malicious traffic, damages the community environment, and also seriously damages our brand image and legitimate I hate that word. Legitimate rights and interests. We will investigate till the end. Damn, they're like, we are gonna lock you guys in. Also, this is new to me. I didn't know that before, but apparently it's very normal in China to have groups, a little bit like K-pop fans, mass attack to get their will for something. I heard it's very common in K-pop world. I'm a very casual K-pop fan as well. I don't really go out of my way to stan people or like, you know. So, but I heard apparently that's also very normal, and that's a little bit scary, not gonna lie. But actually, it's not just we will investigate. In the other translation, it says this. Since its launch, Love and Deepspace has proactively shouldered the responsibility of promoting Chinese cultures overseas, using game content as a medium to introduce Chinese culture to players around the world through a variety of engaging approaches as a Chinese enterprise. We have always regarded this as a responsibility and have never ceased to promote the global outreach of Chinese culture. However, at every significant juncture, numerous online accounts invariably spread rumors, using them to incite player sentiment. Such rumors often rely on taking statements out of context, fabricating false information, and disseminating fabricated chat log screenshots. Using inflammatory rhetoric to win over some players and advance personal agendas. We have also observed that certain online accounts are systematically and deliberately manufacturing or spreading untrue information about our site. Such conduct gravely harms player sentiment, exploits them to generate malicious traffic, and undermines the community environment, while also causing serious damage to our brand image and legitimate rights and interests. We will pursue this matter to the full extent of the law. So yeah, it's a big deal. They are like, some people are spreading rumors. I don't know who to trust in this though. I do believe there are groups that are doing crazy, you know, plans, stage attacks, but this is also a company that doesn't listen to feedback very well. I mean, from what I heard, I never really complain about anything, so I can't say from my personal experience I haven't listened to feedback. I haven't wanted anything in the game that I didn't get. I mean, but I mean, if you're someone who spent 50,000, 7,000 USD a month, and you had some wishes and you never got them, I can see why people would complain, right? So yeah, it's a mix between it's a mix between the path is probably true, company also earns a lot of money, so probably also true, and they care much more about money making and the image, which can you blame their company? So definitely, I think anything you see from Chinese side and from global side, take it with a grain of salt. Me too. Whatever I'm saying is probably not important either. It's like, it's just also with a lot of my personal comments, and I just wanted an outlet to talk about this. So that's why I'm just talking about it. 0 viewers yapping for 2 hours straight. I did talk with a lot of my friends though, so when you start talking with your friends for 2 days straight, even your friends like get a little bit tired. Even I'm actually getting a little bit tired of this topic. I want to do something else, but it's just taking up so much space. My whole timeline is about it. But yeah, sorry. It's almost 4 AM here. Damn, it's so late. And that's really and obviously they end up with, we thank all of the players for their continued support, for enthusiasm. We only welcome you to share your feedback, suggestions through our official channels. Keep doing whatever and help us, pretty much. Thank you for the support. So yeah, that is pretty much what they're saying at the end. But this is pretty much everything that happened. And all the controversies and everything that was going on. The next thing I want to dwell in a little bit though is, I don't know if I should talk about this on stream, but honestly I don't think anyone's gonna watch this all the way here anyway, so I might as well just do it anyway. Yeah, I want to show you another picture. I have so many pictures. What is this one? I mean, if you don't play Love and Deepspace, you probably don't even know what this picture means, but this is the buses and the Stellars. And the Stellars are different colors. That each love interest has a special, wow, it's cropped, has a specialty in. Wow, I didn't know I was about talking, but let me just go to my game. Let's take a look. How does this work again? Battle. Oh, my daily drops. I might as well go in here. I think I'm gonna sleep well tonight. So as you can see, there are 5 different ones, right? So a lot of people are using this to be like, oh, we don't need another love interest. There's only 5 different battle options, so we just need 5 love interests. 5 bounty, but it's not like they can't add another bounty hunt. They're sounding like they can't add another. This is super ridiculous. But as you can see, they have different shards. Like they have drops, and the drops have 2 different colors, and each love interest has 1 color, usually main. So one would obviously assume that there were gonna be 6 love interests, right? I think a lot of us though who have been playing for a long time didn't expect Valko to be the one, but the Eva CEO to be the final love interest, especially because we heard about him from the beginning of the game as well, and it's also not uncommon that the enemy or the last boss, evil last boss, is your final love interest that you kind of convert, if that makes sense. Enemy to lover show, pretty much. But a lot of hurt, very little comfort, I can imagine. Even now, I think some people were saying that there's been speculation that there might even be 9 or 12 love interests, which personally I think is a little bit too much. I'm happy with maybe 6 or 9, but having 12 is ridiculously much. I know that some other Ultimate games has it, but I play games like normal gacha games, idle games, rhythm games that has what, 15 to 20 plus, and that means your favorite character barely get any content because the cycle is so long. This game is all about having this special bond with your fictional husband, boyfriend. So having too many guys, I understand that it could be concerning, but I think 6 or like maybe even 9 would be okay. I hope they just stay with 6 though. I don't need a lot of different options. I just want to bond with the guy I do like. But obviously, if you are new to the game and none of the love interest you, then you might be wanting the game to publish more love interest, so you can actually find the one that's your specific type. Also, I do think Valko fits in really well for the balance, because Xavier is such a prince type, and Zane is your doctor, serious, but with a gap type. Raphael is your baby girl, Silas is the bad guy, and Caleb is the boy next door. So having a more like manly gym type of muscular dude things is pretty fitting. Also, I know that a lot of girls do like the type, but I do also know that this type also exists extremely much in BL content. So yeah, I did also see some Chinese fans being like, oh, he's giving me very much like BL chop vibes, and I cannot deny that. Honestly, he does do that as well, but you can also put that into an ultimate game, and he can cater to the girl who likes more muscular, bulkier guys who can carry girls. Like, you see so many height gap ships or like real life couple, and I think the whole deal is just like the girl like to be carried and princess carried, and if you have a buff guy, he can do that. Obviously, most guys loving Deepspace can do that for you because that's selling you the dream, right? But Xavier, he looks so slim, but he also been bulking up in newer updates, which I find extremely amusing. Oh, I think another thing that a lot of fans is not happy with about Valko is that a lot of people call him a copycat, and that he's a copy of someone else. And I do understand the sentiment, because you might have wished they made something completely original and new, especially if they didn't give your best boy the content and attention he deserved. Then if they had to make a new one, they had to make it extremely special to, you know, justify that decision, right? And since Valko isn't a very normalized Chinese beauty standard, or like even Asian, because I heard that Korea hates him too, that just make people feel like he was a waste, and then a copycat copying off their favorite, most beloved love interest. Honestly, when I saw Valko 2, I also felt like he was a mix between between Caleb and Silas. Especially his nose skip like Silas vibes, whereas his other features are a little bit softer like Caleb's. But then again, honestly, some of the cards, if you don't tell me to look properly, I do mistake Caleb and Zane as well. And I'm sure I'm not the only fan who does that. Especially if you have a room that's a little bit light, a little bit darker. The hair color is really hard to tell. Like, Caleb has really dark brown hair and Zane's is black. If there's not enough lighting in a room, it will very easily blend together. And even Raphael and Xavier, even though they're obviously not exactly the same, they have similarities too. So I do understand where they're coming from, but I don't agree, if that makes sense. Yeah. Also, even if they don't like the things he has now, I'm sure that the developing team will start developing more unique features just for him. I mean, considering they have been working on this for maybe half a year, a little bit more than a year, maybe after Caleb dropped pretty much, they also need some time to, you know, still produce things while developing this. So yeah, either case, I think the copycat thing is a little bit of a stretch. Also, a lot of fans do enjoy that. So what some love interests have, they want their love interest to do it to them as well. So I do actually also have a tweet for that somewhere. Let me look that up for you, so we can have a fun, objective comparison, and you can feel for yourself if this is copycat or what's going on. I do see it, but I also don't. Wait, let me take a look. I do have... Oh, here it is. Senya. This one. People would be like, oh my god, it's the same poses. And we already have a wolf king with his Silas. Look at all these wolf related things, but Silas is also wolf related doing this specific card. Also, this is a specific standalone card. It's not his myth. Honestly, I do like Silas being associated with wolves, but I think it's also okay if we have an actual wolf, you know? Silas is pretty much taking up the vampire trope with his last myth. Yeah. And even like, you know, poses or like angles or like, you name it. Honestly, I think Silas is also kind of biting you a little bit, but you know, I don't know, man. I don't think it's a big issue. I understand it's an issue maybe, but give the game some more time to develop this guy and, you know, add more features and things and nice things so you can enjoy it. Right? Wow. Talking about this after so long is so nice. I feel like I've been bubbling in a lot of feelings that I've been wanting to talk about. So yeah, I can tell I'm tired. Maybe I should have started the stream a little bit earlier, but I procrastinated. Oh, give me a second. Let me get some water. Oh yeah, I remember. Sorry. There's the last thing I want to talk about. Is the leaks. I don't know if these leaks are actually true. There was this one girl on Twitter that said that she got it on the Chinese side. How she got it, I have to completely honest that I do not know. I have no idea how she got these leaks. They seem pretty legit, but I'm not sure. She has a lot of followers on Twitter too, so I'm like, maybe not. But she deleted the tweet since, so I just received it. I received both the Chinese and the English for comparison, so I could, you know, nitpick the wording and things like that. Also, as you can see, sometimes when you translate things with MTL, it's not accurate, and I'm honestly just too tired to read a whole document right now in Chinese and then translating it. So that's why I have been relying on MTL translation. Why did they even get this information? Is crazy. Like, why do you get this? I am not gonna link it. I'm not gonna share it. I'm gonna keep it in the video, which means that it's just like the people who actually sit down and watch all of it can get the information, and the people who don't, I mean, it is what it is. It's not confirmed anyway, so I feel like whatever, it could be speculation, it could just be a conversation you and me having, though I don't feel the need to actually go out of my way to publish it anywhere other than here. And I don't have a lot of followers, I don't have a lot of viewers. If I had a lot of viewers, I'm not even sure if I would have shared it as leaks and not just me talking about the issue. But because I have a leak, we might as well just, you know, put it out there. Obviously we already knew that he would be extremely connected to the other love interest, right? It's not a surprise. And the person who sent it to me actually didn't tell me I couldn't post it or leak it or anything. But obviously it is not confirmed, so that also in itself tells you that, you know, this is speculations, maybe, we don't know. But if it's true, it's very interesting. And I have to admit that It's very intriguing, very interesting, very dark, very fun. But it actually says in 25,000 word burnout card. Okay, I don't know what that means, but this person wrote 50,000. Maybe it's a fanfic, maybe it's just their thought. But let's talk about it and do a deep dive. It's a crazy, extremely deep dive. I'm sure a lot of other people have been making videos. I haven't watched anyone because I didn't want to hear everyone being like hateful or saying mean things or blaming people, and especially people who don't play the game. I think it's extremely rude to be like, oh my god, all Chinese fans are crazy, or like global fans are like parasocial, and maybe they are, but everyone has their own comfort thing that they enjoy doing, and I don't think we should blame people or like put them on, out there to be laughed at, right? Honestly, a lot of these people who do make this video do it for a living, and views is equal money, so I don't blame them, I guess. But I just didn't want to, have it. I haven't seen anyone actually sit down and probably go through all the information and probably talk about everything. I do know one person that might do it at some point, but they actually don't play Love and Deepspace, so I'm not sure if they will do it, but I hope so. I would love to hear another person's point of view on this actually, so but yeah, I feel like I've been saying let's talk about it later multiple times during the video, and I probably forgot some, but let's just go through this. There's 4 different screenshots, and yeah, it's quite a bit. I will scroll through this slowly. This is exactly 1 hour and 40 minutes in, so I'm not gonna make timestamp either. I'm not gonna promote it or say anything. I'm just gonna read it out loud and talk about it, and if people actually sit down through the video and figure out this is part of the video, then they can enjoy it. Maybe if you get Valko back and things are released, we can come back to this video. I can laugh at myself and be like, oh, remember when I was sitting here talking to myself about these leaks? Okay, but let's do it. Alwyn is 26 years old and 189 centimeters tall. He is the 6th romanceable male protagonist in Love and Deepspace. His core motto is "Wild free will, only submitting to you." See, this is the whole like enemy to lovers. Everything is terrible, but only you matters, and you're my whole world kind of thing. Like you're the only good person to me, so obviously I'm gonna devote my whole life to you. Very typical ultimate game. Very cute, very nice. We have to dream. It had to be fictional. He possesses 2 inseparable identifies. Wow, I can't read. He possesses 2 inseparable. He possesses 2 inseparable identities, which a lot of love interest does. On the surface, he is the chairman of Eon Core Technology Group, the top company in Lincoln City and even Tianjin City. He monopolizes the research and development of special metals, evil suppression devices, interstellar mechs, and high-end care. It doesn't say care, does it? Man, how do I make my screen bigger for this thing? I can't read. I'm blind. Oh, there you go. This is how you do it. OBS become bigger. High-end core energy equipment in the city. He wields enormous capital that can influence the business world and supply all the hardware and funds to the villainous Ever organization. Yeah, this guy is rich. He is CEO and he is supporting Ever financially. Sugar daddy. He is decisive and ruthless in the business world and skilled in calculation and strategy. Behind the scenes, he is the current leader of an ancient werewolf family that has existed for 1,000 years. He is spawned with complete werewolf bloodline and has both human and beast form. Oh, so he can actually put his ears in. But I wonder if he actually does that a lot. I thought that the myth was gonna be, him having the ears and then he would be like a normal human every day. But yeah, that actually explains a lot. I guess you can still put the ears in, if you wanted to. I think a lot of the cards that we got teased with as well also had some examples of that. His exclusive evil ability is metallization, which allows him to freely transform his skin, bones, hands, and fangs into ultra-high hardness alloys. Magneto. No, that's not Magneto. That's like an X-Men character who can do that, right? These alloys can generate sharp claws and blades as weapons, and he can be fully armored to withstand bullets, attack from alien beasts, and high temperatures. One of the alien beasts is the Wanderers. Sorry. He can only slightly manipulate ordinary metal objects to assist in combat at close range. At the same time, he is also a werewolf. Can you see why I think that these leaks are quite, you know, it feel real, right? But honestly, we don't know. This is all speculation for now, but let's just keep going. All the same time, he is also a werewolf. His bloodline endows him with superhuman healing speed. Oh wow, that's nice. Explosive running power, night vision, and a formidable. Wow. Maybe I should watch some more English TV to learn how to pronounce things. Formidable physique, allowing him to traverse dense forests at high speed at all fours. On all fours. However, this power comes with an inescapable curse. Every full moon night, his inner beast goes berserk. His reason vanishes and his aggression surges, making him prone to unconsciously harming those around him. Yeah, guys, this is what I mean. Problematic. I mean, it's not really, right? I mean, it's fiction, who cares? But I can imagine that if this is the other thing for too bad for the Chinese fandom, I don't think this is the thing for Chinese fandom. Obviously, there are some fans, right? From my experience so far, a lot of the Chinese fandom seem to love this very obedient, cute puppy boy version of Valko, but I think a lot of them are also new players, so they don't really understand how dark things can get in Love and Deepspace. One of them actually said that she loves him for his heart and likes his action, and I think that is such a cool thing to say. And I respect her a lot for that, actually. I was like, oh, okay, but that's great. I mean, I went around on Xiaohongshu and commented on a few comments and started talking with some of the Chinese fans and be like, what would you do if this happened? Now that he's gone, what do you think? And a lot of the fans were like, he would never hurt anyone. And I'm like, bro, if this league is real, he's literally hurting people, or like every full moon. But I guess there's a difference between wanting to hurt someone and doing it unconsciously, right? But it's very important, is unconsciously. But it does mean that he might consider himself a danger to MC, and that is a whole, you know, there's a whole relationship dynamic. I think in China we call it hurting, comforting, and forgiving together. Like enemy to lovers, hurting, comforting, and forgiving together relationship where you actually have to, you know, your enemy and he actually hurt you. He actually it's not like just those kind of ha 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 we disagree enemy. It's like he actually did terrible things to you and hurt you, and now you have to forgive him, and he's hating himself for ever hurting you, and he's scared of hurting you again. But you know, that is the delicious part of this story plotline, right? It's like he's feeling guilty, you're feeling guilty, you're learning together, learning to forgive, learning to, you know, love each other for who you are, forgetting the past or forgiving the past, comforting each other. So yeah. But let's see, he becomes a werewolf. To combat this, he wears a custom-made, intricately carved black metal mask year-round. I mean, we saw in the promo PV, he does not wear the mask around us because we're the special someone, I guess. But I didn't show you guys that PV, but there's another PV where you see Valko wearing the mask. Oh yeah, that's something I wanted to talk to you later, if I remember. I'm not too tired. Oh, sorry. Maybe I'll not post all the leaks. I'm getting extremely tired. I'll probably just read this one. Maybe I'll do another post if I on another stream about this in a few days to see how things progress. It served both as a device to suppress his exposed fangs and protect him from harm, and as a psychological shackle to control his fear. He possesses strikingly handsome Western features. Read this. Strikingly handsome Western features, and that is all I'm gonna say, and leaving it at that. People who understand what I mean know what I mean. People who don't understand, I apologize. This is very rude of me to think like that, but it's pretty much saying that developers wanted me to be a handsome Westerner, and China hated that. And a lot of people also on the global side hated that as well, because they also like K-pop fair boys only, and that is fair everyone to their own, right? But yeah. With a rugged bone structure, high brow bones, deep set eyes, and a sharp and clean jawline. A short trousel burgundy? I know it's red, like burgundy, burgeon. How do you read this? Burgeon? Man, I feel like I wish I had a dictionary that could read out the word for me. Burgundy hair. He possesses naturally golden vertical pupils that never completely fade. Even if he is normal human form, when agitated or about to transform into a beast, small sharp fangs peek from the corners of his lips. His cheeks often bear faint abrasion scars from battles. He has broad shoulders and a narrow waist, a large firm muscular muscles covering his chest, back, and arms. He is the most robust and powerful of the 6 male protagonists. His everyday attire is divided into 2 styles: business exclusive wear, the CEO, and combat wear. He wears a dark, high-necked, tight-fitting inner layer, topped with a fitted leather vest with metal stud and straps, paired with black work pants and heavy metallic leather boots. When in beast form for combat, he does a sleeveless, high-fitting black combat vest, completing his full combat look. That makes a lot of sense. A lot of people are saying he was copying Raphael's gym clothes, but here it actually says that it's not the same. It might look the same, but it's not. This is an actual combat vest. Sleeveless, but it means black tank top, pretty much, right? But it's actually, you know, fleshed worded out different, which I think is really cool and very nice to know, because I wish all the love letters get their own unique outfits as well. Not to say that this is something I told with my friend about as well, that imagine if every single shop only had one of each item. Man, that would be special designer goods right there. Okay. But considering Raphael and Valko's background, they are both filthy rich, so they could probably afford that anyway. Okay, let's do one more. And then I'm gonna pass out. He displays his muscular physique, his arm bound by metal restraint, and a short fighting blade hanging from his waist. He often loosens all restraints when facing the female lead, allowing her to touch him. His wolf ears and bushy grey-black tail trigger intense wariness when others approach. He lives in 2 separate residences. Damn, he's rich. During the day, he spent most of his time in his private residence on the top floor of Eon Core office building. He is obviously so connected to ever. The residence has a cool minimalist metallic and technological style, with a huge floor-to-ceiling window overlooking the entire city of Lincoln. The interior is filled with modified bloodline suppression device, a metal experimental instrument, serving as both office and rest area. During the full moon or when he wants to unleash his wild side, he goes alone to an ancient wooden house, probably the one that we saw in another card that was leaked, or not leaked, but another card preview, passed down through generations of wolf clans. Oh, we actually did show some nature in the PV. Deep in the dense forest of the outskirts of the city. The house is filled with ancient wolf totems, empty, desolate, with no unnecessary furnishings. Used to isolate himself from people and bear the pain of his bloodline backlash alone. Oh, this is a megaverse when they go into heat, lol. His sparkling star has a strong duality depending on whether he is speaking to business rivals, subordinates, other male leads. Oh, wait, no, that's fine. That is love interest. Or ever. Are they actually gonna talk? I know that China has a huge love interest interactions. I think I've only played a single game from China who had that, and that is Tears of Themis by Hoyoverse. The whole concept is that they all make a club to, go bust villains' cases, and that's why they know each other. But I don't think this is a very good concept for Deepspace. I know that a lot of global fans love when they interact, but I don't think China would love that very much. The collaborator's voice is deep and hoarse. He speaks slow and concise, with very little embellishment. He habitually uses short, commanding sentences, excluding a strong sense of predatory oppression. His words are sharp and direct, lacking any sense of tact or politeness. When he loses control on the full moon, his speech is mixed with the low growls of a wild beast. His initiation unclear and filled with mania. This guy is insane, not in a bad way, but Only when facing the female lead does his tone unconsciously soften. All his ferocity subsides and he doesn't use harsh commands. He openly reveals his protectiveness and possessiveness. Another one, huh? I love those though. Apparently that's my type. Clumsily but sincerely showing tenderness. He is not good at sweet talk, and all his feelings are expressed through actions. On the surface, he appears as a cold, arrogant, suspicious, and very lone wolf. His desire for control and territoriality are ingrained in his blood. He is used to shouldering everything alone and never trusts anyone outside the group. He often acts outside the rules, using scheming and forceful suppression to protect his tribe and consolidate his group's power. Damn, this guy is real. He's aiming for the goal. However, deep down, he desperately lacks companionship and a sense of security, and buries a heavy burden of guilt and vulnerability in his heart. From childhood, he has been instilled with the destiny of a leader by his tribe, having never had anyone to confide in or share his pain since childhood. His long-term solitude fostered as a habit of self-isolation. Only after meeting the female protagonist did he finally possess the vulnerability to relinquish power and break free from shackle of fate. His moral character lies in the grey area between good and evil. His bottom line is never to intentionally harm ordinary civilians or the female protagonist, and he is willing to do anything to protect her. However, to preserve the wolf clan's survival, maintain cooperation with Eva, and cover up past sins, he tactfully approves of and even accidentally supports. Wait, what? Did I misread? However, to preserve the wolf clan's survival, maintain cooperation with Eva, and cover up past sins, he tactfully approves of and even actively supports. Actively promote the supply of capital related to evil. Supports actively promote the supply of capital related to evil human experiments and plan to target the female protagonist. Dun 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 dun. Wow, imagine if all of this is so real. I feel like it sounds like it could have been something like a fan fiction written by a fan by what we have been given so far. And I think it's really nice. It would be actually really cool if this is end up being canon. I feel like a lot of things is also being a little bit hinted. And maybe that's also why the person who sent me this probably deleted the post. And the leaks aren't spreading out further. But I think this is extremely interesting, so I was kind of like, I want to talk about it at least and put it here in the open, so if Valko actually does get back and we do get the official main story, we can come back and see how accurate this actually was. Yeah, but honestly, I'm so sorry. I wish I could stream a little bit longer. I'm just so tired. I keep yawning and I'm not reading properly, and obviously I don't have viewers, so it's not a big issue, but if I had viewers, I would feel extremely bad for them seeing me in this state. Also, I know there's a lot of viewers like to be like, are you asking if the library is okay? So I'm gonna take care of my health and listen to my body, which says, you are tired. I might make a part 2 where I continue the leaks / fanfiction part of Valko's character. There's still 2 more slides, and then I want to talk about all the incredible sad things that Valko's removal actually brought to the game that I personally didn't think about in the beginning, because I was just too occupied being like, yeah, you got me, he can come, he cannot come, it's not a big deal. But now, after reading about this in the fanfiction leaks and just seeing the promos in different languages, I feel like he grew on me a lot. He's not gonna be my number 1, and I'm a foreigner, so I'm like, yeah, of course I can date multiple love interests. Lol, I don't need to pick one. So yeah, that is what I was thinking at least. Wow. I'm so sleepy. I have a hard time even staying awake. So I'm just gonna be, you know, quick and fancy and say good night. Thank you so much for listening to me yapping for 2 whole hours about this whole thing going down, and I'm not even done with it yet. There's so much things, so many things, so much stuff. And the fans keep fighting each other. I haven't even bought any like malicious comments from both sides, but it's extremely uncomfortable seeing how people can just throw other people under the bus for fictional characters. This should definitely not be the norm. I'm just scared if that ever happens in Japan, or like, you know, yeah, where I am. Okay. Oh, I'm so tired. I haven't hit the 2-hour mark yet. I'm just gonna sit here and sum for a little bit. Yeah, for real. Good night. Thank you so much if you watched so far. Thank you if you dropped by to take a look. Thank you for listening even to a few seconds. I know I didn't talk very smoothly this time. I was extremely tired for one, but also I'm still learning, you know, how to stream, how to be a better talker, how to be better in English pronunciation. And the only way to become better is just keep doing it. And some people might find me cringe for just talking to myself for 2 hours, but 1, it helps me clear my mind. 2, I think it's fun and still nice. And 3, I mean, why should that be an issue to me, whether you like how I... Yeah. Oh well. Be safe out there, stay hydrated, please sleep enough, everyone. Sleep is so important. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.